Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening and most. And joining me are my friends Matt, Kara, Olive, and Ari. We are celebrating Kara's birthday today.
Woo!
Happy birthday, Kara. What? Gibbs.
Gibbs is a little backwards.
Gibbs.
She's a little backwater girl.
We're going to play Starfinder tonight, but before we do, a couple quick announcements. And we're going to be joined by Dan at some point, theoretically. Soon. Yeah.
If you're
a bit
his
of
delivery
technical
driver,
difficulties.
Yeah.
deliver
But
it.
if you're the Dan delivery driver?
Well, no, like Dan's waiting for delivery. So if you're the delivery driver that Dan is waiting for, then like.
I imagine it like Dan was being delivered to us.
It's
Like, we went on DoorDash, we got our Dan.
Yeah.
But,
Different delivery.
Yeah. A couple of quick
delivery.
announcements before we do get into our game tonight. First of all, I went down too far. We've officially been playing this campaign for 2 years. Yeah, which is fantastic.
We're still level 8.
You
No, we're
are.
level 9 now.
We just leveled up to 9.
I forgot.
Yeah, but still, you were supposed to be like level, I believe, 12 at this point.
then
No, I like the slow.
Yeah.
It is certainly
All of
slow
our
burn.
enemies are leveling up a lot faster. Than we are.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna get to Dr. Baldros. He'll be dead, like 80 years
Yeah,
old.
of old age.
Yeah. But
That's one way.
no, so you know this campaign was originally slated to be just a pretty tight, similar scope to the D&D campaigns. It looks like it'll be just a little bit longer.
How'd that one turn out for
Yeah,
you first?
but you know, likely sometime in 2026 we'll be playing some other system. It looks like we are at Albron RPG on Instagram and other social media, where you can see close-ups of all the different things that show up on the table. Right now, there is a map. There is a little, what looks like maybe like a mechanical strap of something.
That's
And
my
then-
dice
oh,
tray.
a dice tray with dice. And so you can see things that show up on the table in much greater detail at Albron RPG on Instagram. We have new lighting, which is really in thanks to everybody who watches us on Twitch for all the subscribing and the bits and things like that. It enables us to do things like obtain better lights. And so thank you for that.
You're glowing.
2024 in general is going to be a year of changes around the studio. Some are going to be pretty obvious, some will be less so, but hopefully we're going to be seeing some neater, cleaner backgrounds in the future. There is also a veritable terrain farm that we have now. So huge thanks to Kara and Dan, who have both been tremendously helpful in that regard.
Terrain farm.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff that is coming in the future and that you may be seeing in the very near future. And with that, it is
Maybe like a
time
couple weeks.
for tonight's session of Mosaic Team 5. And we're back. Let me get us into some appropriate recap music here and welcome Dan to our game.
The delivery driver dropped you off.
Yeah. We joked that we ordered you on DoorDash. All right. Mosaic Team 5. Last we played, you finished up errands around Prime Station with Gibbs shopping for supplies offered by both Echo and other members of the party, with minimal distraction from an antique shop across the street. But you did obtain some tablecloths.
Nice.
Echo, you spent time considering what you knew about Garache and Zin, and had thoughts about how you might like to approach. You considered some of the avenues that you might take, some of the obstacles that you might encompass. Shade, you repaired some items as well as applied the Horicalcium to good use, and took some other time to prepare for this mission that lie ahead. Bubbles and Spice went on their own mission, which was their second date, a dance-off at the Jacinto Dynadome that they were sure to win as they had been practicing quite hard.
Cilia.
But upon arriving, they discovered that the competition was fierce, led by none other than two familiar faces, Celia Sweet, an Infosphere influencer on the rise, who Spice had served while undercover as Donna Valentine at the upscale Hakashita Hana restaurant in Oro's Bay, and Chet, a surfer bro Woyoko, who is aware of nothing and everything all at once.
Cough, cough, cheater!
Celia Celia with special lighting provided by a personal protagonist drone, not yet out on the market, crafted a bridge of starlight to sashay Chet across, who used his time to gracefully yet explosively attune to the universe. Bubbles and Spice countered by clearing the periphery of the stage with a slide beneath the bridge, drawing secondary cameras to you.
I thought that was pretty fucking sick.
But Chet countered by turning gravity on himself and Celia upside down and floating to the ceiling as Celia touched Bubbles and sent his mind to the far realm, seeing eldritch beings with Celia's face speaking with the weight of the universe, briefly fracturing his mind and driving him and Spice out of contention. Celia and Chet won.
Yeah, no more dance stuff.
The pure metal of the crowns caused
how you
Chet
guys?
to have a bad allergic reaction. Him and Bubbles spent some alone time in the bathroom after Chet convinced him to help.
Can I just say, before you go on, I did not realize that the bathroom was as small as it was, even though it was on the table.
It was both physically on the table and it described it as being small enough for one person. And even that uncomfortably, you spent some time together in the bathroom and really bonded. Not only did you manage to remove the crown, but also learned that Chet was a sponsoree of Squeaky Clean, and as such, still receives some of their products and would for the next foreseeable future. They promised to have some shipped to a destination of your choice, and you chose the condo at the Eclipse Mall that
It's the only address Bubs knows.
Megan Mari had taken. Spice, you paused to take a picture with Celia, who allowed you to do so, and posted it to your Infosphere profile. And as you blow your cover to one of the few people it is still intact to, that is where we begin this evening. Second here. Let's bring back a little upbeat music. So all of you are still, not all of you, Bubbles and Spice, Chet and Celia, along with, remind me again of that really quick improv character's name.
Aubrey
Heartburn.
Yeah.
Aubrey Heartburn.
Aubrey Heartburn and
Heartburn.
Heartburn.
Yeah.
Sorry. All of you are within the Jacinto Dynadome. And the Jacinto Dynadome is a sort of almost skating rink style building that has been structured into a dance floor. There's some other entertainment elements around it. The crowd is returning to the dance floor now, beginning to do their own kind of thing. But what would you guys like to do? Primarily Bubbles and Spice. Are you making your way out of here?
I want to collect. Oh, we already collected our gifts. I already stole Celia's money.
You did.
I'm going to fist bump Chet and be like, see you later. Hey, losers.
Close my knuckles yet.
Oh, ew.
Still
She
kinda
goes
swollen.
to fist bump and she goes, later. Whatever.
Oh,
Turkey or
jellyfish.
something. Yeah, exactly.
Bubs will just do a toodaloo.
Okay. Nice
Remember
little
what I
snap
told you, my squeaky clean bro?
Yeah, totally.
Hey, Celia, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Really?
So the two of them make their way off. Celia, a little bit distastefully, but in the direction of the exit. Bubbles and Spice, are you leaving as well?
Yeah.
We're
You make
going
your
out
way
the
out.
same way. Awkward.
In the course of this professional relationship, there's been a lot of trips to the hospital.
Yeah, oh no, I'm sure, yeah.
You're now his emergency contact. It's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing ever. You're like, how did I sign
Well,
up
there
for
was
this?
that
Celia,
time
you
that I
peek at
hit
your
the
emergency
Nar
punch
and
card.
crashed right into the
This is going to be a
reef.
free visit.
The manager definitely signed off that Celia would be the emergency
Oh,
contact
yeah.
from now
There
on.
was that time where we went in the Lego store and I breathed.
Not a sponsor. There is a brief kind of commotion towards the end, and as you are all emerging, people do ask for pictures. I mean, this was something that was broadcast on the Infosphere, and it did get a fair amount of attention. Chet and Celia, you two especially, swarmed, and Celia, immediately it becomes apparent to you that this has really done good things for your following. Both of your communicators, although Chet probably not really noticing, as your manager kind of does most of this, are just buzzing nonstop. but you guys make your way out and past the kind of crush. A few people ask for your autograph kind of
Yeah,
here and there.
Spice fuming with jealousy, but like smiling for the camera as she watches like Celia just get swarmed. She's like, thank you.
There's a little girl who's like trying to get Celia's autograph and like can't quite break the crowd. And you can
Spice
see,
will grab her arm and be like, you wanted me to sign?
Mommy, I'm afraid. She says like pull away. But yeah, like people really not super into the Spice and Bubble show
Babe,
comparatively.
let's go.
Are you sure that they don't want my autograph?
Babe, next time.
Okay, next time.
Pull Spice into one of these automated taxis and begin to make your way back towards the embassy. Or actually, where are you guys all meeting up?
We were at the ship.
Okay, you can make your way back to the ship if you want. You make your way back. Let me change the music to something a little bit less disco clubby.
Oh, see you later, bros. Old Chet's gotta go get his throat cut open.
We'll get
so
him
he can
next time.
breathe.
We have to keep track of those dance competitions because for the next time, you have to actually work. You hear that?
Babe, I was like trying my best. It's like I don't know like what happened there. Like I felt like I like time stopped and like
I watched your eyes roll into the back of your head and you went off. You just started.
Babe, you know my eyes are only for you. Like I wasn't like staring at anyone else. Like babe, like the dance competition, like that was like my priority number uno. Like
Spice didn't even like think he was looking at other women dancers, but now she's like, now that you said that out loud, it's in her head, and she's like, what do you mean?
There was a very specific face that he saw.
babe, babe, it was like horror, like Celia, it's like 1,000 like little like eyeballs, like gross, like you know, like I bet she like doesn't even like.
Who's she?
Who?
You tell me.
Well, we met them tonight, Celia.
So Celia's the one who's on your mind? Is that who you're talking about?
Well, no, babe. You know you're the only one for me.
I don't know, because you said that Celia's in your mind.
Well, no, babe. I meant like I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Oh,
I'm just
babe.
giving you a hard time.
Okay.
You make your way to the docking bay. With no further problems, you can kind of disembark towards the ship. Is there anything that Shade, Echo, Gibbs returns with a number of bags, more than could possibly be needed for the 2 or 3 items that they were sent out for. But Gibbs, you return. Is there anything that you guys are doing?
I think I probably would have started by repairing Echo's armor, since Echo's still on the ship.
Okay.
And it's a quicker project than the 2 weapons that I was crafting.
Okay.
Right.
So I'd probably give that to Echo and maybe have a quick chat.
Oh, upgrade it, you mean?
Yeah, I'm upgrading. Yeah, so congratulations on that.
Happy birthday.
Happy
but yeah,
birthday.
I want to just like give it to Echo and have a quick chatterino.
Okay.
Okay. Give you the armor.
Thank you.
I've upgraded it to approximate the level of protection that mine offers as well.
It is appreciated. It was not enjoyable to be hit so much and so hard.
I also give you this with a request. I'm going to need to rely on you more, and I apologize because I know that it has been especially hard for you lately, given 899 and the other units.
Admittedly, hearing that Project Cuttlefish was last seen in the Karache area without 899 was disappointing.
I believe that it would be prudent of us to go to Lola's Diner, even though 899 is likely not to be there. Perhaps we could find something that would lead us to them.
I do not think that that would be possible, but I do agree. The potential for upgrades outside of the USR sphere is intriguing.
We would potentially be able to have Lola contact Sinclair once again.
We might want to phone ahead, otherwise we will be there for quite some time. And I am not particularly fond of Lola's brand of hospitality.
Once we've spoken with the identity tech, I will contact Lola's Diner.
Okay. Sorry, I'm eating this cookie.
Enjoy that cookie.
It's really good. Gibbs, is there anything that you're doing before people get back?
Gibbs writes 2 articles.
Okay.
First one is official sponsorship of Tobin as Junk Falls representative as Bottles.
Okay.
Second one is the Echo/Gibbs co-written how to register to vote step-by-step documentation with like clickable links and like really like eats up a little bit of Echo's time being like, how do I hyperlink? How do I hyperlink again?
Echo, make a computers check, and then Gibbs, make a diplomacy check, and each of you take a +6 conditional modifier, and this is for the collaborative effort, and really, this is part of building upon all of the computer-based projects that you guys have had to do together.
27.
All right.
Okay. In a similar nature, actually.
36.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Got a 19 on my die.
Nice.
So you write these articles, and not only do you write these articles, you relaunch a much sharper version of Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk. This is now geared towards voting. You put up an interactive guide, which has like a little animated Yosoki that walks people through the various forms. It tells people that, like, you know, like all the various things, like they can't be intimidated. You have the right to do this and this. You show the various candidates, and even with that, if you want, you can stilt it so that the example candidate always looks a little bit like Tobin.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure.
We're
no
fighting
problem.
an uphill battle here.
Yeah, and so you really, not only do you make this kind of tutorial, but you do it in a way that will subtly imply that, like, you should be voting for Tobin.
Nice.
You kind of put in, like, every time that you show, like, the voter suppression thugs that are, like, these little guys, like, with mean faces in the background. It's in, like, Rentropy colors. You're doing things that, like, really subtle, but will probably help in some way. No problem.
That's
And
what
for
I
what it's worth, almost instantly, you start to see traffic increase. It seems to really build some momentum for you.
We did it! Thank you! Oh, I have something to give you! Ah, and I rip it off my body. Here you go! And it's a haste circuit that I don't use.
It's
You can see-
covered in fur.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a little sweaty. But it works!
I believe I can find some isopropyl alcohol that will help with cleaning this.
Oh yeah, here, I've got some of those. Pull out soda cans filled with shit. Ta-da!
Like half full because it, like, evaporates relatively quickly.
Echo like shakes the can a little bit and gives it a sniff.
Nice. Thank you! Nice.
It's water for Android.
And then Gibbs starts to, like, sew.
Okay. You sit down. You go over to, like, the rec area. And
It's
you
very, like,
sew.
you know, like Cinderella, like the
Yes.
rats?
Oh, absolutely. Phenomenal. Yeah. So you do that. No problem.
Cool.
Everybody eventually makes their way back. And so all of you kind of conglomerate within the ship.
Sorry. No, we're sorry. We're fucking around.
What would you guys like to do next? You do know that at some point you are expected to contact the USR, and they will get you in touch with a intelligence officer. You also, I mean, you have the ability to do whatever you want. You guys have reached a point within Mosaic where you're able to call your shots a lot more.
I know that Spice obviously would want to keep going on more dates, but she also feels like she has an obligation now to these people who have helped her make it this far. So she, like, takes Bubbles' hand and they go back to the ship, and she's just going to wait to see what the rest of her
Hi,
team
how was your
is.
date? Was it any good?
Oh my god,
Did you
girl.
win?
We lost, but let me tell you,
Oh my god.
Bubbles killed it on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know.
I mean, he did get a little bit taken away via his mind, but that girl, that bitch Celia, do you remember her
Oh my
from
God.
the bar?
What?
Oh my god!
We gossip.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was good, like, you know, like, whew, I mean, like, I don't want to say, what? Oh, I don't want to say, like, you know, we, like, you know, got destroyed or anything, but, like, you know, I think it was just good, you know, to get our dance moves out, because, you know, like, if my dance, like, the galaxy would be so disappointed if my dance moves couldn't come out, you know? Like,
Right, and don't forget who taught you those.
oh, yeah.
Bubbles and Spice return, at 11:55 p.m.
Okay.
on 04/13/2250. This is a Saturday for the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
Look at this website I launched. Look how cute it is. Come click on it. You guys should get addresses or at least P.O. boxes. Wait, that's voter fraud. Just kidding. Don't do that.
I mean, I have. Fuck it. Let's do it.
And Gibbs, you have a good understanding of the voting system now through doing this. Both you and Echo, like, proficient in the Petrus 4 voting system.
Woo!
Yeah, for what it's worth.
Can all of my friends vote with, like, we don't have a permanent address. Could we make permanent addresses in Rat King?
Well, can you do it like via communicator or like screen name? Like your just like internet presence is probably at this point in the galaxy. Like use that as your
Can we
voter.
legally do this?
Legally do what?
There's no
Could I
address.
legally, could my friends legally register to vote and vote in the election?
Make a culture check.
Cool. Just kidding.
If we apply to become residents of Rat King,
7 plus 15 is
which we can do online.
23?
using a
23?
VPN.
You don't know the specifics of it, but you're aware of the fact that it doesn't take much to obtain residency within Rat King. You know that it's a pretty quick turnaround. How quick? You don't know if it's like days or weeks or months. It's definitely not years, but you don't know the specifics of like how long that process would take. Is it possible? Yes.
Here you go. Here, fill out this paperwork, and then you can vote with me.
Can
But
I
even
make
as
it?
you hand them this paperwork, you realize that you're probably skipping a few steps.
Yeah, okay.
You know that with the 23, you really don't know specifics about it.
Wait,
It's
don't
the
do
kind
that.
of thing that you would need to probably go there and ask somebody about.
All right. Gibbs does not want to like willingly commit voter fraud,
Yeah.
so we'll adjust the.
Just unwillingly.
Ignorance is bliss. Gibbs lives in that. Yeah. Anyways, I'm
But
done.
not a defense in law.
Like legally not. Ignoramus non something something something. I remember that. I learned it in Latin class.
Can Spice look up how to commit voter fraud?
Make a cultures check, and do you get a bonus for criminal activity?
It's -5 to the DC.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I rolled 2 dice for this and rolled low, unfortunately, on both dice. 21.
You learn about the same stuff as Gibbs, which is actually really impressive for you, Spice, because you're not super invested in like voting or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no.
But
Blue collar.
for Gibbs, you put a lot of time into this, and you learn about the same amount as Gibbs.
It's like, let's see if we can do
I
that.
know, all I'm seeing is my own website. It's really frustrating.
Every now and then you find something that's really good. You're like, oh, there's this cute little animation in it. Oh, it's Chuck Falls will always be drunk.
yeah,
//
Your
Yeah.
icon turns into a little bottle when you like navigate it around.
Wow, this is fun.
Isn't that cute?
7,000
You do get
viruses.
a lot of warnings from your browser. Your communicator browser does send up some
Yeah,
warnings.
it's saying that there are a lot of viruses and shit. So
Those are the bonuses.
oh, they're bonuses. Okay.
And Gibbs, you had to add those in after Echo left, but you know.
Yeah.
From like another room. I have never experienced this. Is this what fully organic beings consider migraines? Why? I feel drained.
Look, you can turn your cursor into anything. Look, now it's a dragon. Now it's a hourglass. Oh wait.
Spice lights up her like
There's
cigarette
just a
with her
blue
mouth.
ring that appears that's just circling and circling. Echo's taking a nap.
So, what are you all doing? What's your next steps?
Shade would probably be in the cockpit and be switching off between like hanging out with Squeak, working on the crafting stuff,
Okay.
and would say to the director to schedule a team meeting.
Ah, the family dinner.
How? I don't know. How late do you want to sleep in?
How late
Right
does
now.
Shade
Wait,
want them to
it's,
sleep in?
it's 12 in the afternoon.
Bubs gets up when Spice.
It's a Friday night.
It's
10
like
a.m.
you guys are
10
getting
a.m.
back at, like,
it's
midnight.
our 24 hours
okay,
off.
okay.
10 a.m. is fine.
10 a.m.
10
Okay.
a.m.
Get some shore leave.
Very well. Where will this take place?
In the common area.
Very well. Suddenly, there's a little blip on all of your communicators, and you see that there's a team meeting at 10 a.m. in the common area.
Gibbs adds with fondue. Ooh, and chocolate. Ooh, and toast.
I guess
That
we
also
we
is
do
added.
have the
Your
the
Outlook
food
update
maker
gets
thing.
or your Outlook invite gets updated.
I think Echo's developed a shorthand with Shade being the captain of just like the ready up thing, like when you're in a lobby, just like boop.
I gotcha. It's like
At least you know I read
automatic.
it. Like,
At least you read it.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I set back to my work
Okay, no problem.
and my squeak.
So, those of you who get back on the later side, rest. If you have not done so, you can mark off a long rest. You can regain the benefits of that if you wish.
Yes.
Especially for those of you who are dancing and or in the far realm.
Dead.
In the morning, you are all waking up on the 14th of April in 2250. It is Sunday. And I would say,
For
Shade, you wake up to a
50,000
message from
PB.
Peep.
Peep says,
Give me a second here. I gotta pull it up.
Sorry, I was distracting our captain.
Sweet boy Peep, my daddy.
The message from Peep reads, "You're going to get a call today sometime from TJ. He wants another interview. He heard about what you did, and it's really impressive. You guys are going to be featured on the show again. So, could you please just make sure things go well this time? And remember, just try not to bring too much attention to anything we don't need to, especially if we're going to be doing this USR thing. Maybe don't mention that. Peep out." And that's the message that you get.
I will send a response to Peep. I will try my best.
Okay.
Nice. Setting expectations low.
10 a.m. rolls around, and there is a brief blip, and the blue lights along the corridor light up to lead all of you to the sort of common area for this team meeting. Shade, you have the floor for the team meeting.
Echo has already just like gathered a plate of nutrient cube.
What? I made
Well, no,
fondue.
it's the spread because we have the machine. Yeah,
It's
nutrient
been
cube's
printing
fine.
easy cheese for like
Yeah, but
20 minutes.
I did
Nutrient
have
cube.
to interrupt it.
Nutrient
For a
cube is
nutrient
good.
cube?
It's good
It is the
nooch.
yellow one.
It's good
That's
nooch.
festive. Can you at least melt it and dunk things into it?
It would no longer be a cube.
Could be bits. Anyways.
Are you all well rested?
Yeah, I feel great.
I wish to go over the current plan.
Yes.
We have 3 days until the supply depot will be ready for us. I intend to contact Lieutenant Woe's secretary?
Yeah. Attaché.
Attaché,
That's a fancy word.
to formally accept the mission in Garachi. From there, I believe we should go to Lola's Diner. Followed by that, we'll stop at the Eclipse Mall for a day to get up any supplies that we need. From there, hopefully the supply depot will be ready and we will make our way. From there, we will head towards Garachi or
The ship
wherever
place.
we're meant to go based on what we learn from the attaché. I believe that Lola's will be a good area to check to find alternatives if the USR plan is not to our liking. I was also contacted by Peep last evening. TJ has reached out again and wants another interview.
Hell fucking yeah. Yes,
It
he
is
does.
imperative that we do not say anything about our interaction with the USR. Do not answer any questions
Wait, why?
because
We're going undercover.
we don't know who will be watching TJs.
Yes,
It's
Captain.
likely that there are
Shade, you have another message. And this one's from Peep as well. And it says in text simply, TJ's, 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
TJ's is going to be in 30 minutes.
Wait, is that like here? Like digitally? Or like we going somewhere?
I imagine that he will contact us the same way that he did last.
Okay, so what is my script for they're gonna be like, so, what did you do on Prime Station? And I'm gonna be like, well,
We went into the Hollow Husk in search of the Hulk of the Husk, a serial killer that had been loose for some time.
and we're not gonna say anything about the USR at all.
No.
What
Okay.
we discovered there was that a disgruntled developer for an old game, Fantasy Quest, was behind the illusion brought into reality that was the Hulk of the Husk. Any questions beyond that, You do not know.
Okay. She nods.
And we didn't win a cool award.
We only interacted with the PLEA and the embassy of the USR, purely as a result of our interactions on the Tony Express.
So Calvin Woe is just not. We're not gonna say
We
anything
have
about
no
that.
need to mention Calvin Woe.
Okay. Even though he's a fucking hero.
We can mention him after we do the next bounty. Really cool.
Okay.
Really good. Okay.
All right.
So just like hold on to it. Like all your excitement, super love it, but like let's just wait like 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. Heard.
Okay.
I can do that.
Yeah. Me too.
I would like to request that I stay behind the camera and not make an appearance.
And so what? We'll be in Mosaic Team 4. We're not that high ranking.
We are not Team 5 because there are 5 members.
Isn't that confusing?
That is so confusing.
Mosaic Team 1, also 5 people.
Oh.
What was or is? I'm not sure.
I feel like Spice would know that
TJ
and not
asks
all.
about Echo's whereabouts, I will come up with a reason for their absence.
I am in the bathroom.
And not shirtless.
I will likely come up with something a little more convincing.
Are you sure? Because I'm the best liar.
If you would like to try, I will trust you to do that.
Okay.
I'll give you a sick note for Echo.
Okay.
Do not say anything of our upcoming mission, or anything that may imperil any of us.
Okay, so I'm gonna say we're vacationing, but I'm not gonna say where.
The less we say, the better.
Okay.
Any embellishments will only lead to further questioning.
Captain, just one point of order. The last time we were on TJ, we mentioned that we were planning on going after the cult that had the biomancers of some biomancers on Mars.
Of Oris.
Omerus. And well, what if they ask about that?
We are keeping all of our options open.
Okay.
Are there any more questions? I suggest you all get prepared. The interview is in about 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Oh, babe, we'll make sure we're all ready and we're all looking nice.
And the two of you just woke up after sleeping in after like a date and being out. Until
Yeah,
like 1
no,
in the
Spice is like,
morning.
no, get,
So, like-
clear the shower, director.
Rough shape, but yeah, 15
Babe, I have to
minutes.
shower.
No! I guess we can do it together. But Spice obviously runs to get ready.
Echo goes to the bathroom and just shouts from like inside the bathroom, "It is not a lie now."
There are also 2 bathrooms, and so you can use both bathrooms.
There
You
were
had
2
somebody
bathrooms
locked in your
before.
other bathroom, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
It was being used as the brig.
I am in the toilet bathroom, the half bath as it were.
There you go.
Yeah, just mohawk.
Right up there. So you all make your various preparations, quick preparations for Spice, but for everybody else, 15 minutes, probably plenty of time.
I want Squeak on camera because
Okay.
I feel like Squeak will give us some points, and also I want Squeak in my life.
Ooh,
Make a survival check here.
Echo's, like, propped
Have I
up on
spent
toilet with
the
their
requisite
plate, just,
amount
like,
of time to
eating
make
their
an
nutrient.
animal handling, whatever it is, for companionship?
Make a survival check.
Is that what it is? Oh
Yeah, there's no
that's what it
animal
is.
handling.
Yeah.
In space, no animals can be handled.
only survived.
Oh.
18?
18. Okay, you get him all ready, and he spends some time with you. He trusts you. You tell him to sit down. He kind of tucks himself and gets all upright in the chair. And then at the last second, when you turn around and you're seeing if everybody's ready,
Emily just gave us a wheel.
excellent. You can see Echo comes out looking pretty much as Echo does. Gibbs comes out looking very much as Gibbs does, with a little bit of right back in their mohawks, a little bit
A lot
higher
of
than
fondue
usual.
fingers.
Little, actually, less dressed up if possible. And then Bubbles and Spice come back.
Okay, so last time,
I've learned to always just allow you to introduce yourself.
because obviously outfits are my favorite thing to describe, and that's my favorite thing to listen to as a listener. I like to hear what everybody else looks like. So for me, Spice comes out, and because last time she was wearing that red thing and she had a little wardrobe malfunction, this time she's like, all right,
No, but
halter top. We are not going to
Riskin'.
mess it up at all. So she's wearing like maybe a blazer. She's like boss bitch sharp this go around. She's got her hair in a high pony, and she's like, all right, we're doing it. This is serious this time.
God forbid you wear an
Fantastic.
outfit that has more than one strap.
What about you, Bubbles?
Bubs is going to, as always, match Spice.
Okay.
And he,
You say that, but then I ask you what, you go, a suit.
yeah, a gentleman's suit.
What is it? Yeah, sorry, I forgot about the gentleman part. What are you wearing to match Spice?
A halter top and a blazer.
I imagine probably a little bit less businessy, more casually.
Okay.
But still with the biz. It's just gonna
Make a culture check, Bubbles.
Biz.
Bubbles, when you have like a spare 5 minutes in the bathroom, right at the very end, Spice, like,
Can I help? Is there help action in Starfinder?
There is.
I
literally.
think Bubbles probably feels pretty confident in their
Okay,
abilities,
all
would be my
right.
guess.
He just wants to show that he can dress himself.
18 plus.
Okay, that's good.
I think it's like 6 or something. That's my call.
There's a wheel for Kara, by the way.
It's a wheel for Kara from Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
That doesn't matter.
It's
It's
like
just
5 or
people.
No,
6.
we'll not. It matters,
matters.
matters.
Oh, here we go. It's
Matters the
18.
most.
Yeah, it's the love of my whole life.
8. Oh, okay. 18 plus
26.
8, 26. Thank you.
26.
Nice.
Okay,
That's a high roll.
It's a lot of biz.
that's a lot of biz. Yeah.
So busy.
So you think about this, and you look at all of like the reference images that you have saved. You look at John Travolta from The Mask with like the bright orange like suit. You go through a couple different options, and you know what? You look over at Spice, and Spice is looking very like, or sorry, Jim Carrey was.
Yeah, I was going to say Jim
Sorry.
Carrey.
Like
yeah.
John
my fault, sorry.
That's what I was
Travolta.
thinking.
My fault. Sorry. And then you think of like, you know, like the like Two-Face's suit, all of these like really big kind of like bright things. And then ultimately you look over at Spice, who is dressed very much in like a power outfit, and you would go with something that is a little bit more appropriate. It isn't quite business. It has like a lower neckline. It is like a little bit of a sharper cut, and it has some futuristic details to it that like are reminiscent of what like people your age would probably be wearing in like a business setting. Yeah, but absolutely appropriate. No halter top,
Nice.
Bummer.
unless you want one, in which case you're welcome to. You have,
No,
you have the
I
pecs to
don't
hold
know
it
if
up.
they're in season.
Underneath.
Yeah, that's fair. Underneath, always underneath. That's the
But it's a
secret.
mock turtleneck, so it's still like got that high cut.
Oh man. So all of you dressed up now. About a half an hour ticks by from Peep's original message, and you hear your communicator begin to ring. Cycle this just for a second.
Beep,
All right, you pick it up.
beep.
Spice was like, oh, what is that sound? What? I've never heard this before.
I'd like to imagine we have a laptop that we've like clustered.
I'm imagining
You
we're
changed your
all like
settings.
posing like in a like Power Rangers squad, like
That's
but trying to
kind
be
of what I
casual
imagined.
as the director like points a holoscreen at us.
Yeah.
Very biz cash.
Very
Right.
good, guys.
Yeah, just a little
the
can of
definition.
fun.
We're arranged like artfully on a sofa.
So the ship's communication rig goes off. It's not like a laptop. This is an actual projector that pushes this down onto a circular table that's within the rec area. But there is easy country music that floats across the infosphere and sets you at ease. You can see the kind face of TJ swim into focus with this whole audience behind him kind of swimming out. And you can see there is applause, and he's kind of waving to people and turning almost over his shoulder to see you. And you hear TJ say, Howdy, Mosaic Team 5, and congratulations on all the success. I understand there may have been some organizational shuffling since the last time we all spoke, so before we get started, can you introduce yourself and your roles to the viewers back home?
Thank you for having us, TJ. I am Shade, the captain of Mosaic Team 5.
And I'm Gibbs, the medical officer. And I'm with.
I am Spicy Mido. I'm part of the crew of Mosaic Team 5.
Spice is our diplomatic officer.
Oh, a slight change from the last time, if I remember correctly. But we'll get back to that. What about you, young man in the back?
As always, when Bubs goes on camera and he's very frozen, he just goes, "Hi, I'm Bubs."
There's like a very pregnant pause, and then he just goes, all right. And who's this young fella in the back? And he points, and you can see Squeak looks up, and as he does, he just goes, oh, and the little goggles flop down over his eyes.
Everybody just like hears the
Yeah, oh yeah, in the
behind,
background. Yeah, absolutely.
That is our crewmate, Squeak.
Well, that's absolutely delightful. More people should be traveling with companions as such. I've heard not only were you aboard the solar train that was robbed last week, but you were key players in protecting the people within. What happened on that train? The authorities have been pretty quiet, but theories range from Vesk attacks to ghosts, if you can believe that. What really happened?
Well, the reality of the situation was that there was a shipment of snakes to the Katydid Corral. Some of them got loose within the vents of the ship.
You hear one person in the background of the audience just shriek out, "Snakes on a train!
Snakes on a train!
But you can see like there's like a bunch of people hushing in the background, but he kind of nods and just says, "Snakes? That's highly unusual. What were snakes doing aboard that train?"
I was unable to ascertain, nor were any of my crewmates. However, it seemed as if it was for a show taking place at the Katydid Corral and Casino.
Make a diplomacy check.
That's like true.
That's why it's not a bluff check.
Okay, cool. Would have been probably better if it was a bluff check. But...
Probably should have lied then.
Can we? Okay.
There was a bunch of
Hey,
snakes.
you know you're not wrong.
Joe.
Okay.
As if that's the only dice in your tray. Give it up.
Also, I noticed.
Choose a different
I
one.
noticed the Akadai was in your tray for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know.
That might have been me. I was cleaning stuff up.
Good cover for him.
See, this is why I
Alan,
need
it's
this.
my
Oh,
birthday.
I found the right one, but it was a 4.
It was a 4. Okay. With
So
a
4 minus 2, right?
No, it's a regular.
No.
Oh, 4 minus 2 for his sense motive. But like,
Yeah, it's not a sense motive.
Yeah.
So, you say this, and he kind of looks at you, and he nods, and he says, "Well, I suppose as bounty hunters, you, I'm sure, have some secrets to protect, so we'll respect that. Let's move on to something a little bit more current. Gibbs Scabrat. I have a question specifically for you. You're from Petrus, right? Petrus 3?
4.
Well, then with the Rat King mayoral primary coming up quick and the outlawing of bounty hunting in the system, a principal platform point of Acclama Freshie, will you be backing Chesterfield, who promises to keep Junk Falls the way it's always been, or what do you intend to do? There's been some talk, I'm actually just hearing this from my producer, that there is a Tobin who has also entered the running and gathering quite a bit of a following quickly.
A Tobin Scabrat, actually.
Well, how do you weigh in on all this? Who do you think is better?
I personally am backing Tobin. I think that the Freshies have had power for a very long time, and I think having different voices on the platform is important and good, but I look forward to the debates to come.
Make a diplomacy check.
Spice is gonna start like a Tobin, and hope it catches on with the crowd.
Make a +0 conditional modifier for that.
Okay.
13.
Okay. I like how Spice's interpretation of like diplomacy is like a sports game in the ninth inning. But yeah, even with that quiet Tobin, it doesn't seem to really help your case too much. But he just kind of nods and he says, "Well, it seems like you have your mind made up, but for all the rest of you, do your research and make sure that you get out and vote when it's time." He turns and
Check out Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk, the website for voting instructions.
as you like try to whisper that, like his attention just shifts away. Your role does not
I like
quite.
display the like paraphernalia on my little vesty vest of like the website, and
Okay.
it's like that's my like.
No problem. You do that.
we got a woe from Talon.
You did. And so for this woe, his attention will
Go to Bubs.
shift over to Bubbles.
Ow! You spoke into existence.
And he'll say, Bubbles, I have a question for you. There's been a lot of speculation on a number of bounty boards that there is somebody going after bounty hunters, a bounty hunter killer, if you will. And there's a lot of talk that this individual bears some surprising resemblances to you. What do you make of that?
Hi. And Bubs like tries to take a deep breath and he remembers, to breathe, and he remembers that, he's not in front of a camera, he's just in front of a person. I think that's very, kind of weird because, there's a lot of people in this galaxy and, I'm sure, I can't be the only bald human.
Well, I mean, have you seen the composite sketch? And he kind of steps aside, and there's a secondary screen that on, and you can see it's a drawing. This is not something that is like a picture by any means, but it does bear a resemblance to you. Certainly, there's no eyebrows. You can see there is even, not in the same place, but there is even kind of like birthmarking kind of signs. You can see that the artist didn't quite know what they were, and so they're just discolorations kind of vaguely left in the background. Could be shadows potentially. It almost looks like a court kind of quick sketch that has been put out. Not a lot of humans that look like that.
Well, obviously, it's up to the artist's interpretation of who is describing it to them. So, I mean, like, there's various interpretations going on, and sometimes things get lost in translation, and And Bubs is like kind of like a little bit like sweating a little bit.
Make a diplomacy check.
And there's only one Bubbles.
Do we notice that Bubs is starting to panic?
Yeah. In his voice, in the air, in the everything, yes.
I think Shade would...
You hear in the background, he looks like he's panicking.
Echo's in the bathroom and can tell that Bubs is panicking.
I think Shade would probably try to cut in and be like, it appears as if that is circumstantial 22. At best.
22. And you can see in like... If this was like a cartoon, this would zoom into like Squeak's viewpoint. He'd be like, "Man, he's dying out there." But you with a 22, you take that deep breath. You remember you're just talking to a person, and you say,
"With the go ahead."
No, please.
And Bub's like he gets a little confidence, and he's like, people like jokes. And honestly, like I look way better than that like description, anyways. Like look at this and like look at like come on.
Well, I mean, each person can make their own assessments, but you certainly are a fine-looking young man. Eyebrows and all. And you look and kind of in the thing you could see you still have one of those fake lashes that Spice put on you for the competition.
Fucking dope.
You're a good-looking fella too, TJ.
The attention kind of shifts over to you, Spice.
Spice is like stifling laughter.
And he says... Spice.
Yes?
Your mother's been very busy lately. I'm sure that you haven't had much time to talk between the various projects that she's been sponsoring and all the work that you've been doing. But in a quick word, do you think your mom would be proud of the work that you've been doing?
You can see Spice like... I think only her crew would notice the like flash of panic, but because she's like a performer, I don't think TJ or the crowd would be able to tell. And she goes, "Of course, my mama is always so proud of me. As her last daughter, she's very busy. She's got a lot of other daughters, but this daughter, she would be very proud of."
Bub shoots daggers at Spice.
Okay.
Spice does not meet them. She looks directly into TJ and like does a sparkly smile.
Make a diplomacy check.
I'm proud of you.
Oh yes. So is everybody in my life. Natural 20, and then also max on my other one. So this is gonna be like a 49.
Nice.
He nods and he says, "Well, I don't have any other questions about that." Turns and just immediately moves on to something else and just says, "Well, what's next for such hot bounty hunters? There's plenty of jobs out there in the galaxy, but with so much going wrong, I'm sure people are interested to know."
Spice
Currently.
takes out her like cool ass bone guitar on stage and starts playing. Like win over the crowd. Anyway, Shade.
With the easy country music playing in the background, Spice takes out a bone guitar and begins to play. And to be clear, this is a Zon-Kuthon cultist like instrument.
Oh shit. Wait, no, then I don't do that.
Okay.
I didn't make a note that it was a Zon-Kuthon thing. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one with razor wires that like cut your fingers, and that's what I think. It's like
No, that's a bass guitar. There's a different one.
You have multiple now?
I don't remember how many you found, but there was 5 instruments in total.
I have the bass guitar and a regular guitar, but it's mute because...
Oh, we could have done Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
That's date number 3.
But he kind of nods. Is anybody giving a response?
I'm gonna vote!
in the election.
And that's fantastic. And as a reminder to everybody, if you are a member of the Petrus system, you too can vote in the Rat King election.
We are gonna take some time off.
Take some time off.
Yeah, I think we deserve it after everything that we've done. So,
Well, aren't you worried about losing momentum? I mean, Mosaic Team 2 took some time off after their unfortunate incident, and they haven't been heard from ever since. Even Mosaic Team 1, who really, no offense, but the cornerstone of your organization, they've been off for 2 weeks now.
We are taking time off to focus on our own internal honing.
We're gonna do team building. We're gonna do exercises. Do you want to do one, TJ? I'm gonna think of a banana. I'm gonna think of a fruit, and then you're gonna think of a fruit. And if it's the same fruit, we've been a team.
Is it a banana?
Yes, we're a team.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Bananas make teams. Well, you certainly have all earned some time off. But it seems as if all of you have made your way a little bit higher in the bounty rankings this week. And with a couple more jobs, you'll be considered one of the elite hunting groups.
Ooh,
so I encourage you not
tell
to
us.
take too much time off.
what's on the boards right now, TJ? Lay it on us.
Well, now's actually a great time to segue into TJ's bounty board.
That's what I was hoping for.
So, folks, and the screen kind of goes gray, and he goes into like the live presentation of his actual show. Give me 1 second here.
I'm gonna text Echo. Did you know Mosaic Team 2 and Team 1 are both missing?
Yeah, everybody, like all of us were like, excuse me? I wanted to ask about
He
that.
like turns over here and he talks about the top 5 bounty hunters in the galaxy, and the current one is currently Caitlin the Grey Lioness Orlin Van. There is the Fateful 5, who are ranked in at number 2. There is Lucinda, aka the Devil, at number 3. There is the Choir at number 4, and then there is Antim Wilkshow Avery LLC at number 5. Nowhere up there is Mosaic Team 1.
Oh, these are all bounty hunters.
Bounty hunting groups, yes.
Oh, can he tell us if there are any bounties that we can go after?
You imagine so, but he kind of used that as a segue into the rest of his show.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of like, concludes by talking about things like the largest bounty claimed in the last week was, and this is not including anything that you guys brought in because that would just happen, a 75,000 credit bounty by Monster Slayer Will, who brings a relatively new bounty hunter to a relatively high spot on the rankings. There is somebody named Nimnam Effer who has the most collateral damage this week by ramming their ship into an oil refinery to eliminate a bounty within. And then some of the major news in the bounty world. There is an individual named Shugashani Warini who was apprehended alive after a protracted siege of an Anubis Dynamics dealership that ended in a high-speed chase through a series of mines north of Chronotor Corporate City. And with this arrest, one Rose Lashwind has finally broken the 1,000 mark at 943.
Hey, that's our friend!
Wow!
The final thing that is kind of relayed by TJ in this news is, and some sad news for the bounty community this year, Jimmy 12 Toes, formerly ranked 1306, has been removed from the rankings as a 100,000 credit bounty has been placed on them by the USR after they've been cited only 2 days ago. Any information leading to their arrest can also result in a small amount for a tip. And the little number flashes up on the bottom.
What happened?
At the end of this, TJ kind of signs off with this show, and you can see the audience kind of fades in the background, and the lights kind of come up, and you can see just much more plain light. This older looking guy, the screen ungrays out, and he kind of turns around back to all of you, and he says, "Sorry, Mosaic Team 5, we have kind of a timeline that we have to keep for the show and all, because it's live. But was there something else that you wanted to ask?"
Yes, I have so many questions. The first one being about Mosaic Team 1 and 2. Can we talk about that for a second? You probably have more insight than even we do.
What about them?
What happened to them?
Well, I don't know. Mosaic Team 1 hasn't taken a job in about 2 weeks, which is pretty unusual for them. They're not missing, I don't think, necessarily.
It's not like a vacation thing, though, is it?
Maybe we should ask
Ma'am,
you.
you work for the company, I don't.
Okay, the other thing is about Jimmy 12 Toes.
What about him?
Can you explain to me what happened there?
Well, Jimmy 12 Toes stole a relatively large shipment from the USR, and they're none too happy about that.
What was the shipment?
Some kind of robotics or cybernetic pieces.
Of course it was. Do you know if he was affiliated with an organization of sorts?
He was a bounty hunter, freelance for quite a long time, but I don't really know.
Shades whisper calming Echo to see if you can find anything on Jimmy 12 Toes. Activity.
Well, thank you, TJ. Are there any hot bounties for us that we should go get?
Well, what are you looking for?
We're
What region?
looking for, what region?
Ships. We need
We like starship combat, so somebody that's in deep space, perhaps, somewhere we can get in the drift, maybe, or somewhere, Spices, you can see her stalling for a little
near
bit.
Petrus Fort.
No, the ones, we want the bounties that aren't within our rank, but the most money. I'm here for the money, buddy. Baby. Buddy.
Make a diplomacy check.
If I do. Buddy.
Ears like go up like a.
Oh my god, it's another natural 20!
Phenomenal.
Wow, this dice is so good.
Well, I'm sure you've heard of hardcore Henry Kent, who's out near the Zin Crawler, but
Yeah, I've heard of
the
him.
Point Blank Shoal, if you can find it out in the drift.
Blank
I've
Shoal?
heard the Point Blank Shoal.
Oh.
There's individual who engages in machining of starcraft specifically suited for lockout, especially illegal lockout. And I hear he can get performance out of ships that nobody else can. Let's see. Other kind of racers with big bounties. Well, I gotta pull up my bounty list here.
I mean, Hardcore Henry, tell me more about Point Blank Shoal. Do you have any contacts that we can reach out to, whether it's above or below the table, if you know what I mean?
With that natural 20, he leans into the communicator a little bit and he says, "Now, I don't really know much about this individual specifically, but I heard people call him the mechanic."
The mechanic.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would make sense if he's like a lockout ship guy.
Well, in between you and me,
Yeah.
I noticed some of the patches on his coveralls. I think he's from around Garachi or the Zin area, so if you're going after that individual, he might be the person to talk to.
Okay.
If you could find him.
We're not going out there.
I mean, we're not going out there, but because it's so far away, it's
Well-
such a bitch to get to. But
Here's another little tip
It's
for
just
you.
Yeah.
staring, just like,
We're not.
oh, Spice
We're literally
is
doing it.
eating this shit up.
We're literally doing
What's
it.
your little tip, TJ?
You got lots.
Tell me what you're gonna give to me.
There's in the drift. Give me 1 second here. This
In the
from
drift.
Session 61, I think.
Ooh, okay.
taking it back.
All right, so he is near Zin, Point Blank Shoal, the mechanic, sorry.
The Machine.
Yeah.
There's a really good stand-up comedy skit called The Machine.
I have watched it, and that's
yeah.
exactly
that's,
probably why.
Oh, the machine!
The rush. Yeah, on the train. Fucking
There's a radio broadcast that you can listen out to, and you can find it in parts of the drift that are near this place. It's called WSRB Radio, Music to Drift By. And
WSRB radio.
I think that's a coded radio station. I think it's transmitting signals to and from other places, and it's powerful. Way more powerful than a radio station would ever need.
Do you know where it broadcasts out of?
That's where I couldn't really tell you. I don't travel too far within the drift myself, but I mean, if you listen for it, it's something that you might be able to trace and follow. It's mostly just space rock and blues.
I do love the space rock and blues almost as much as I love space country.
You turn off our lights?
No, you turned off our lights with
I
your
turned off the
feetsy
lights?
feet.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
No, you're good. So I turned it back on because
You
my
just tap down the negative
even
about
notice
4
those.
stages.
It had been off since
Oh.
the start,
Oh.
but it didn't say anything because
it was on?
you were in it. You were
Let's
in
just
it.
turn it off. What? They're not clap on. Sorry, Dad.
One day.
With it, more likes, follows, and subscribes, they'll get us those clap ons.
Oh, yeah.
So, I will never down here ever get us clap on. Not with the people that we have around this table. Absolutely not.
Yes.
As an example.
Yeah.
You can make a, a jazz snap.
So
Lights on.
he nods and kind of says, "Yeah, the only time that I ever even heard this station was when I was out by the P2 system, but I don't necessarily think it's there. It's in the drift, so it could kind of be anywhere.
Okay.
And I have a hunch that it's probably traveling.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I prefer the PU system.
I've never been there myself. Oh,
Gives farts.
it's a joke.
It's
I
like an
guess.
It
Earth
is.
thing. It's a Peacher's Fort. Anyway.
Do you not shit? Do you not poop?
Thank you, TJ. It was always great to have interviewing with you.
Yeah, and you folks really should be careful. There's something going on where somebody's targeting bounty hunters.
They're crawling up the list, right?
It's Jimmy
It
12
seems like
Toes.
Yeah. It's not Bubbles. He's been busy.
Well,
I didn't think it was Bubbles, but it's important to understand other people will. And so almost certainly there's going to be other bounty hunters coming looking.
You got a chance to
you.
defend yourself. It's okay.
Thank you for your time, TJ.
Yeah,
And
of
for
course.
your information.
I'm Bubbles.
Great. Have a good day, guys.
See you,
and he
space
just
boyfriend.
turns off. You don't quite get that across.
Shade lights up a cigarette.
We did it! We did it!
Woo, sweating so much.
Guys, I think the person they described was Miles.
It does
Yeah.
seem like the most likely outcome.
So maybe we should let Miles find us instead of us finding him.
Well, no, Spice. If he's going out and he's fighting other bounty hunters, he could, mess up with, like the devil or like, the choir or something, and
It gets us closer to the top.
No, Miles is going from the bottom up, isn't he?
Perfect.
That's what we learned. He's killing bounty hunters worse than us, right?
He didn't clarify that, did he?
No, it was
Yeah.
before, I thought, when we
It
first
seemed
learned about it.
Rose told you
Yeah.
about that. I
Yeah,
believe,
when Rose told me, wasn't it?
Yes, from somebody you did learn that.
Yeah, so he has to either pass us or he'll skip us. But
Well, I mean, it sounds like Miles, but I don't know. Like,
Well, it's not Emma.
Bubs,
yeah.
it is most probable that that was Miles that you saw. You need to prepare yourself for the inevitability.
Look, let's just talk about something else. I thought it was kind of weird, that
oh, Echo, it's done. Come out.
Echo was watching the simulcast,
Yeah, sure.
and the second, he mentioned that Mosaic Team 1 and 2 have been missing, Echo would have started, looking into that, company records and whatnot, see if there's any, chatter.
So for when you say looking into company records, how legitimately are you doing this?
Echo would start legitimately,
Okay.
And
because
then the director would be like, it looks like you're trying to look into company files.
because maybe there's just some, be on the lookout
You
for.
look on the PTO calendar and you're like, no PTO.
Yeah, some bolos and whatnot.
No out of
PTOs.
offices for Mosaic
Oh,
Team
they
2.
missed their flight to Texas last week.
If more things have been getting bumped down the chain because 1 and 2 are out of commission for some reason.
For sure, that's the case. And I mean, you look, and there's a really quick jump in the rewards that you guys are getting, and that's probably partly why. Without even a roll, though, you can check Mosaic Team 1. They're currently listed as on assignment and have been for the last 2 weeks. Mosaic Team 2 were involved in an incident that involved 3 of the 5 having their legs blown off, and are currently, they have the insurance benefits to have them regrown. It takes a while. And so they're currently dealing with that.
So Team 2 is accounted for at least.
Yes,
with,
but Team 1 hasn't been seen, and I would say make a cultures
Where
check.
were they last seen? I mean, I don't know, because I haven't looked it up yet.
Oof.
It's a good question, though.
I will
14.
ask if that doesn't get asked.
What was that?
14.
A 14. With a 14, yeah, I mean, I would say you look at some of the social media accounts, and there is some activity, but it's not the kind of activity that guarantees that it's like a person doing it.
Just like likes.
Yeah, and even not even that. It really is just like, there are people like commenting on things, and so nothing really actively them. No, they're all like busy people. It's not like they have a huge like busy post history. Any of them, they're not Celia Sweet, but you can't really tell.
How legitimate is it to look and see what their assignment is currently listed as?
You can't do that, but you have an individual on your team who could.
Echo's gonna send off a quick ping to Peep to be like, I heard Mosaic Team 1 was missing in action from TJ. What's their current assignment?
Make a diplomacy check. Androids.
Do I get any modifiers because it's Peep? 4.
Androids. You do not get a plus 21 conditional modifier because it's Peep. You quickly get a message back. Hey, yeah, Echo, I can't really talk about that. That's like mission coordinator stuff, but don't worry about it. Peep out.
And then when Shade was like, what did Shade message? Jimmy 12 Toes? Is that the one?
See if you can find anything on his whereabouts.
Yeah, Echo would have
recent
like slotted that
activity.
into like the queue of things to start looking in, but not immediately.
Okay. In the hopper.
No offense, I'm deprioritizing you
It was low priority.
Why are you deprioritizing?
because Rose Lashwind had a run-in with someone at Anubis. And there were a lot of robotics being involved with that.
There were.
And Rose is our friend.
Make a cultures check, and I would say take a +2 conditional modifier.
I'm using a different dice each time. I want everyone to know this. It is a different one each time.
Yeah, stick with the one that failed you the first time.
Apparently, because that is a 17 plus 2 is 19.
From the outside of Harbinger looking in, I mean, there's not a ton of information out there. They're not trying to publish like losses and things like that. It's not really a good look for a public charity company.
Or Anubis?
Sorry, Anubis.
Okay. I was
Tremendously.
I made a Harbinger Robotics advertisement before we started this. Or I'm halfway with that. I made an Anubis one. That will also be during our break at some point. But Anubis. Sorry, I totally forgot what you're looking for.
Rose Lashwind
Rose Lashwind's
had a
involved.
run-in with a bounty at Anubis Dynamics with a high-speed chase, so very probably
There
saw
is
something
information on
there.
a chase. Absolutely. Give me 1 second.
Well, there's that, and then if that didn't net anything, Echo has a plan for that.
Okay.
We're gonna just message her and ask.
Echo doesn't have the best relationship on the team.
with.
Rose.
Yeah, they don't
So-
know each other.
What happened? Really?
I forget why.
No, they don't hate each other, but
It's-
there's somebody who's a better
It's
one.
just that Gibbs is a much better relationship.
Yeah,
And so why not leverage the better relationship,
Gibbs like has actively maintained that relationship.
So you learn that Harbinger Robotics has just opened up a new starship construction yard for autonomous fighters, which means fighters that have some kind of robotic or cybernetic controls, basically drones. And this was in a place called the Inscrawl system. In this place, relatively barren, it is mostly known for having quite a bit of a material called starlight iron kind of embedded within many of the planets there, which is really just kind of a pretty strong steel that also has some luminescent qualities to it and has applications in medical fields and other imaging kind of stuff. But that is where this high-speed chase happened. It occurred not only on a planet, but then out and into the atmosphere, into space, and all the way until a drift jump was made. That's pretty much what you'd find.
What was the name? It was Sugasani Watani.
I closed that. Give me a second. I have to bring up my...
Suga.
It's Shugashani, I think, but give me 1 second. Jeez, not too bad.
But Echo would probably come out of the bathroom, like kind of still like following up on this on their communicator, right as like Bubs is like, let's talk about something else, and Echo would be like, Gibbs, do you still have a good relationship with Rose Lashwind?
Yeah, I text her all the time. She doesn't text back often, but every so often I call her and we have a conversation.
Echo thinks about the differing definitions of good relationships, and says, well, would you be able to get some information for me?
What do you want to know?
Rose Lashwind was recently involved in a bounty with a subject at an Anubis Dynamics facility in the Instarhawk system. I was wondering if she saw anything interesting, as they are working on autonomous drones.
Okay. Sure. She's not the most chatty, but we can try. Do you want to help me? I'll call her.
I don't know how I could be of assistance.
Well, you know, if I'm not asking the right questions, just like mime to me the right question to ask, and I'll go that way. Okay? Okay. Ready? Ring, 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 ring.
Are we doing this now?
Yep.
You begin making
Everyone is in the room.
Ring, ring, ring.
Spice is just like waiting for the drama to unfold.
A couple rings go through, and then the image appears. You haven't seen her in a little bit, and so some of the foliage has changed, but you see the image of Rose Lashwind. This is an individual who they look as if they have a humanoid face, but it is just thousands of tiny little flowers that each shift and turn and can change color and texture to kind of mimic the changes in emotion. They can blush by making these petals of pink turn to face upwards, and they smile. You can see they do look a little tired, but they smile at you and they just go, "Oh, Gibbs.
Hey, you're looking very autumnal today.
Oh, well, thank you.
I like it.
How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I wanted to first of all say congratulations. You broke into the thousands.
Thank you very much.
We were on TJ's bounty board and he mentioned it, and I was like shocked. Not that I didn't think you could do it, but like, what a cool bounty to do it on.
Well, it's nice to hear that TJ's mentioning it.
Can I ask you about that bounty?
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, so you were at Anubis, like chasing someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just mentioned it. Did you see anything cool with the autonomous shippy ships?
Why are you asking about this job? Not that I'll tell you whatever you want to know, but you haven't called me for a while. And now...
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Full transparency, because I want to be honest with you, because you're my friend.
And I want to be honest with you, it was weird.
It was?
Yeah.
We keep getting weird bounties, too.
Well, the bounty wasn't weird, but there's something else going on.
Like, with the universe, right? Conspiring against you? Oh, maybe that's just me. But
What
do you
was
feel it,
strange
too?
about
You might want to talk to your medical officer
I
about
am the medical officer.
Oh.
The mirror is not very helpful.
Do you have like a corporate medical officer?
You know, we're just trying to get health insurance, but anyways, so, okay,
Echo's like miming, like, get on the track.
comparing notes, like, we're kind of curious about Anubis, and I have my friend Echo here, and maybe if I could ask, maybe we could just all talk together. I'm probably not asking the right questions, but what was weird about it?
Well, do you want to get your friend?
I am.
Oh, hi.
This is Echo.
Hello.
Hello.
It has been some time, Rose Lashwind. It is good to see you are well.
You as well. What can I do for you in this very unconventional call?
I am intrigued by Anubis Dynamics' recent release of the autonomous drones. You said there is something weird about it.
It's not the drones themselves, and they're not a recent release, but this is a new Starship yard. It's meant to increase capacity. And, that I don't think is that weird. I mean, people are always making weapons. But I can't help but feel, and I'm happy that I caught this guy. I mean, Warini's kind of a dick, but it felt like there was something else there, and I was really only looking at the surface.
Like it was a setup?
Yeah.
You know, we ran into Jimmy 12 Toes a while ago, and like, I'm not saying he's not a bad guy, but like, I don't know if he's bounty board bad.
He's
So.
pretty scary.
Okay, so you thought this was a setup for Anubis? Or a setup for you?
I don't know. I mean, maybe corporate espionage, something like that. It could have been. I got paid. So, I mean, I'm not really going to complain, but it felt like there was something bigger there.
As if Anubis, or maybe Warini, was hiding something.
Make a diplomacy check.
Can I help
Yes,
by being cute?
you can. Take a +8 conditional modifier for having Gibbs by your side.
Oh, thank goodness. I rolled high, but still, it's just
Yeah.
diplomacy.
Androids.
18 plus 8.
26.
Thank you.
26. That's pretty good.
Okay. I don't think the universe is conspiring against me. I think that's something that you probably want to talk to somebody about. But while I was doing this, I can't help but think that Warrini doesn't really know that he was a setup. I think that he was manipulated into being there. And I think something else was going on that whole time. I don't know what. And I've just been looking over my shoulder ever since because I feel as if something else is coming, but I'm spending this money and nothing's happening.
Have you had a mysterious sniper shot change the course of fate for you?
Who was the person
Gibbs,
who...
do you think maybe I could talk to Echo for just a second?
Okay, I see the worry. I get that what I'm saying is
Have you
weird.
been sleeping, Gibbs?
Yes, no, I swear I have. And I'm doing good, and my magic's it's there still. Anyways, all I'm saying is do you feel it? I feel it, that there's weird stuff.
That's really what we're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm supporting you. I'm just saying our weird stuff's a little also weird. It's just we had a bounty and somebody killed it with a sniper, and then we were in
Gibbs,
somewhere else.
Perhaps it would be best to allow Echo to speak with Rose.
I just don't want you to speak with her because you're worried about me because I'm doing fine.
Is there somebody else in this conversation?
Oh, we're in the common area.
Hey, Rose.
Oh,
It's
The
us.
entire...
It's the entire Mosaic Team 5's
everybody's
here.
here. Okay.
Hey.
Hi.
What's up,
Hi,
girl?
everybody. Nice to see you.
Hey.
Okay.
Thanks, Rose. Any other
Rose,
questions?
Yes.
who was the person who contracted you out for this bounty?
Nobody contracted me out for this bounty. I'm not part of a corporation like all of you.
How'd you find it?
Who was the person who posted the bounty?
Who was your tip,
would need to
girl?
look that
Help
up.
us out.
I took it off the infosphere. It was just
Okay.
an available bounty.
Did it not list who posted the original bounty?
No, it was just paid out through the USR, but they pay a lot of bounties because it's a USR system.
Okay.
There have been disturbing interactions amongst the corporations Anubis, Harbinger, and Jacinto.
I mean, I could have told you that. They're major corporations.
But they do not play nicely together. Why would they play nicely together? It is not in their best profit.
I don't know.
I would be careful with bounties involving these corporations. We have also had bad experiences with them.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that tip.
Not wrong. There is something happening. We do not know what it is as well, but you should be cautious.
I looked through everything and really tried to figure out if there was something else that was stolen. Same planet, same system, but I couldn't find anything. So I'm not sure.
If you are to see a name like Project Cuttlefish or Pleiades Rock come across in any
Pleiades Rock,
research,
like, I've heard of that before.
Company.
They made weapons?
yes.
I've heard of that company.
Well-
I knew somebody who had a gun by them, I think.
If you were to find any of that information in relation to any of these weird occurrences, I would be most appreciative if you would relay some of that to me.
I'll ask around.
Thank you.
Is there anything we can help you with? We've asked you a lot of questions.
After the last bounty, I'm just kind of taking a little bit of time off.
You deserve it.
Can we recommend an amazing vacation spot?
Of course.
Have you ever heard of Aris Bay?
Have I ever heard of Aris Bay?
Well, let me tell you, there's a bartender named Nadia at this place called Hakashita Hana, and she is fucking amazing. Tell her I said hello.
Okay. I'll look it up. I'm not really thinking about a vacation necessarily like that, but
You know, it's a resort place. You can just hang out there.
Pop in, pop out, yeah.
Yeah.
okay. I'll look it up.
And be careful about that serial killer on the loose.
I mean, you should be careful. It seems like he's only going after groups.
Okay. Well,
It would still be wise of you to be cautious and discerning with your bounty choices. As you've intimated, something is happening that is greater than what it appears.
I hope we can continue to share information in the future.
Likewise, and if I hear anything, I'll let Gibbs know.
thanks.
Thank you, Rose.
Bye,
Bye.
Rose.
Bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
The connection terminates.
So, team, what do you think is going on here? I mean, I think with, Jimmy 12 Toes, we basically had a mission, on Akaton where he was kind of, against us, and kind of, it seemed like working for the GPF. I thought we all kind of felt like, the takeaway from that was that the GPF were hiring bounty hunters to do something, and all of a sudden now he's a target?
Jimmy 12 Toes. Absconded. With various materials that the USR is interested in. Perhaps, as we have suspected that the GPF and the USR are working together.
But, I mean, that kind of doesn't track with Jimmy's history. We encountered him on the Lola's Diner, and he was just trying to jack common people for, money. Why is he going after tech?
Time changes
Perhaps.
things.
Perhaps that was part of his original job, to go for tech, and decided that it was not worth it.
Jimmy 12 Toes was on the same team as Meek was, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, is your perception of events that Jimmy 12 Toes is just jacking random people at Lola's Diner?
I thought he was just a regular guy.
I mean, he's got 12 toes. I don't know. Some people like that.
No.
Yeah, I thought he was just a dude,
Wow.
hanging out.
There are times where I feel like there are just these storylines that we're all on the same page about, and then things like that get said, and I'm like, wow.
I mean, in Bub's mind,
Well, because Bubs is like set up this weird rivalry.
I know, yeah, that
Yeah.
also didn't help. He wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to be
Dan
this
slash
in
Bubs.
Bub's
don't
mind,
like him.
he was at a diner and some guy attacked. It seemed like he was trying to rob people. He wasn't really sure what happened because he was in the bathroom,
Sure,
and then he
no
came
problem.
out and people were
That's
just
true.
like
That's
fighting.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Okay.
Fair enough.
Well,
Well, so anyways, this is what happened while you were in the bathroom. Jimmy 12 Toes was just being a normal guy.
I believe that Jimmy 12 Toes is likely working for whatever is occurring beyond us. Similar to how we've taken on this job with the USR under the pretext of a bounty. I imagine that Jimmy 12 Toes is in a similar situation, however, possibly working with the GPF.
Oh.
I do wonder, however. I do not feel that working with either the GPF or the USR is a good thing, in
I
that
agree.
you are working with the good guys.
There are no good guys in this galaxy.
What I do suppose is that Jimmy 12 Toes absconded with some of the tech he was sent to acquire for the GPF. And as we have theorized that the GPF and the USR are working together, the USR, for appearance sake, has sent someone after Jimmy 12 Toes to return the equipment. That is just a theory, though.
So, Shade, you, insinuated pretty heavily that Rose Lashwin should be, doing due diligence on, these missions and stuff. Have we done any due diligence on, the USR mission we're taking and,
We haven't even started it yet.
No,
also,
but,
you
did
sent
we
them.
ask,
You sent them a confirmation that you guys were taking the mission, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that we wanted to contact the identity tech person.
But, we know
So at
we're...
about this point, you do get a message from the USR that they have a tech en route to your ship, and they will be here within 15 minutes. And as is standard in many USR issued phones, this seemed to have held the data until it was near a Wi-Fi hotspot, essentially, and then sent it. So this was sent about 5 minutes ago. You have about 10 minutes.
We
The
should be
identity
careful.
tech will be here in about 10 minutes to brief us on our mission.
But, do we think that we're going after a legitimate target? Or, what if we're also being set up?
We are going to find out more information. As I said before, We are working with the USR to gain more information about what is happening. We're not aligning ourselves with the USR beyond what they can provide us in this current mission.
Just as we went to the Siren to apprehend a bounty. And yet, the bounty was a cover for finding crumbs. We are going to Garache to apprehend a bounty, but also returning so that we might follow up on threads that are most mysterious.
So we're
Like
okay
what?
with failure of the actual bounty in order to get the bigger benefit of
That is not
winning?
what we are saying. Our capturing the bounty is directly related to our success with USR.
But we know where Project Cuttlefish was, and how it ended up where it is a big mystery to us, right?
That mystery is not what matters.
But isn't that the due diligence that I'm talking about that we criticized Rose Lashman
We
for
are
not
following
doing?
up on that.
Echo Bluetooth connections to Gibbs.
Okay.
I am okay failing this bounty.
Gives mind link circuits to Echo, and goes, "Me too." And then
So what's the argument? So Spice comes in and heard both of it and was like, so what are we fighting about?
it's just like shade in this side of the table, maybe not on the same plane of like understanding. But anyways, cool. I made my point. We criticized Lola Jasperin about something that I think we probably ought to do ourselves.
Okay.
Cool. I'm done.
Anything else you want to do before the intelligence officer arrives?
Be careful with what you say.
Guys, I get to show you the cover I've been working on. Gibbs starts to just scramble.
Okay.
Scramble man. Just kidding.
They will be providing us with
Shit.
some
Right.
basic covers.
But I came up with the idea, and it's great.
We should
you're gonna be
listen
so
to what
proud
they
of
have
me.
to offer us first.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
At about this point, the director mentions to all of you there is an incoming android bearing USR markings and a diplomatic sash.
Let
her in. Do you have a doorbell?
The door just kind of descends. Do you ask the director that?
Yeah.
I can play an alarm if you would like.
Ooh, please.
You hear, ding.
Yeah, there's like a nice
Dun,
A,
Yeah.
a soft
Very
A.
much ready for like the explosive alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You can see walking up the space, there is an individual wearing a USR outfit. You can see a small golden tag that is on the sort of lapel of these coveralls that reads USR Crime Technician DFJ. And they will walk up. They have a little briefcase with them. But looking at all of you, they'll say, "Is there a place that we can sit and talk?"
Oh, please come on in. Our family dinner table's right over
Yeah,
here.
here, there's all these couches and cardboard boxes.
Can I print you anything to eat or drink?
No, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for
They step
coming.
forward.
We
He
have yellow
nods.
nutrient cubes.
And he sits down, looks up at you, and then goes, "I will take one of those."
Nice.
Number 5.
Got him. Yeah.
Nods a little
Dope.
bit, and then says, "So you are all Mosaic Team 5?
That is correct.
Are there any other members that must be assembled prior to this briefing?
Do you see the dog? The dog's part of it too.
Are there any other members that are required?"
Director, do you want to be a part of this?
There's a little blue light that goes on. "Would you like me to be a part of this?"
Sure.
"Very well." The android looks up and then kind of looks
That's our
around
ship
at all
mind.
of you.
That's the director.
That is our ship communications.
That is unconventional, but okay. So you are all tasked with getting ships for this mission. As luck would have it, we are aware of a number of GPF ships that have gone missing recently and would make an ideal lockout craft.
Huh?
These ships that have been missing, do you know why they're missing? They're not pirates. I think Wu said he didn't think they were pirates.
They are GPF ships, which means that they are military-grade craft.
Where were they last seen?
They were last seen dispatched to a planet called RP32490A-143. It is a rogue planet, not attached to any system.
Is there like a nickname for that
Dash
planet?
43?
We call it RP-32490A-14.
So,
So RP dash.
It has been logged. Do not worry.
Okay.
We have the trajectory for this planet and could make an intercept course for you to dispatch and retrieve these ships. We were able to determine the transponder for one of them, and it is likely that the other 4 are nearby.
Are you able to discern the status of the ships? Or at least the one that you have transponder frequency with?
It has power, but we have not made visual contact with the planet.
Can you tell us anything about the planet on which they were last seen?
The planet is designated RP-32490A-143, though, as your compatriot has specified, we often refer to it as RP-32490A-14. This planet is traveling 89,000 miles per hour through the interstitial parts of space. It is not on a focused trajectory and as such can be difficult to track and locate at times. It has been spotted recently, and as such we are able to intercept it within the next week.
Do you have any intelligence on the models of these ships?
These are tendon slicer interceptors. They are designed for quick interdiction of vessels both in and outside of atmosphere, which means regardless of where you should be racing, they will perform well.
Tendon slicers? That sounds like, oh god, what's the name of the dark elves called?
Drow?
That sounds like Drow.
It is a Drow craft, yes.
Yeah, it's GPF. Duh, it's Drow.
Oh, sorry.
The GPF also employ a number of Shiren and Lashunta technology.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
But like, if we're caught with these ships, are the GPF gonna want them back?
Most certainly.
So we should like not be seen with them because we are with stolen property, and that makes it likely that we stole it.
Once you have obtained these craft, it would be highly recommended to modify them in such a way as to make them unrecognizable. This would include, beyond an aesthetic overhaul, alteration of the transponder and various internal systems. But the first step is to obtain the craft themselves, and to avoid the GPF in doing so, as it is likely they are looking for these craft as well.
We do have the capabilities to modify these craft.
Excellent. In the meantime, my job is to get all of you situated with false IDs to use while aboard the station.
Yeah?
He pulls up this little briefcase, and opening it, it's a portable kind of computer system, and it's pretty powerful. You can see it has a couple of devices that allow it to sync up with the USR's kind of own internal database. And turning around, they say, first, for each of you, I will need a name. Let us start with the captain.
I didn't think of it.
Oh, I'm
I'm told
ready.
that you are the captain.
What?
I gotta think of a fucking name now.
What was
I have a
Leon?
name.
What was it? What was your?
Any name
Excuse your.
is acceptable. Just choose a name.
Leon is fine.
Leon. Most individuals who are not of our persuasion have more than one name. Leon.
Abaccio.
Leon Abaccio. Okay. He nods. And in that, he will say, Leon Abaccio, what is your planet of origin?
Oh shit!
Prime Station.
Prime Station is not a planet, but it will specify your planet of origin as Prime Station. What is your birth date?
What's the date?
There are 12 months, and each of them have a variable number of days.
I gotta figure out what
The current year is 2250, and basic mathematics should allow you to reach a appropriate year.
04 14 22 20.
2220. He nods, and then there's a little ping. And you can hear almost a slightly different voice. Pull this up here. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Leon.
What is your occupation?
Lockout pilot? Is that what we're doing? Right?
Yeah, I guess that works.
I'm
I mean, lockout is
Matt is a little
legal.
confused right now with like how into this do we have to go for like
Obviously,
He stops
pretty
typing for a
deep.
moment and he says, all that we require are the basics, and from there we will populate full identities.
all right, that's fine then.
So if you prefer to be, quote, lockout pilot, unquote, though that is a simple prompt, we will do the majority of the work.
Well, that's
What is your social media handle, Leon Abaccio, lockout pilot of Prime Station?
Leon AB
C.
000.
that is fine.
Leon AB00.
Killing it.
Finally, you will be issued 150 credits for personal items that are non-combat related. These are for toiletries and other basic essentials. There will be equipment provided beyond this. This is to be provided with any check-on baggage should you provide or should you take public transit in any fashion. There's a little blip on your communicator and you have 150 credits in your inventory. He turns. Who is next?
Gibbs is bursting out at her seams.
Gibbs Scabrat.
Yes, yes.
What name would you like to go by?
Trinket with 2 Y's.
Trinket with 2 Y's.
Yeah. And you see Gibbs take out all of the tablecloths and like junk she's been working on and sewing together.
Is there a clan name?
Yeah. It's Sapphire Sparkles.
You can see the digital eyebrow goes up for just a second, but he says, and Trinket, Sapphire Sparkles, what is your planet of origin?
Petrus 2.
What is your birth date?
It's 07 14 20 20. What's this year?
2250.
So it's 2240. Yeah.
What is your occupation?
Okay. Gibbs takes out what is fundamentally 2 squatty potties that are taped together and then puts a tablecloth over them, takes her bottle, turns it upsize into it, and like puts a tablecloth over her head, and she's like, ooh, wow, fortune teller. And the bottle, the bulb of the bottle looks like a crystal ball in like the little stand. And that's the thing I'm going with.
Born wealthy. What is your social media handle?
Trinket tells all. 2 Y's.
Trinket tells all is taken. Is there another name?
Trinket tells all with all in caps.
That was accepted.
Nice.
There's some confusion about that. You have also been issued 150 credits.
Dope.
Who is next?
I am Spicy Meadow, aka Donna Valentine.
Can't use that one
Why?
because you already blew it.
I don't care. I'm just gonna make it keep going. She's real to me and everybody else. Donna Valentine.
I would advise you not to use a cover that you have already used.
It is not wise.
Miss Valentine.
Ooh, what if
First
you're
name,
Valentina
Miss. Last name,
Donatella?
Valentine.
Valentina.
Planet of origin.
Ekaton.
Birth date.
Just make me young. So Spice says a number that makes her 19 in less than 2 years,
Okay, sure.
when she's clearly twice that old.
No problem. So you are 2239. What is your occupation?
You are the same.
Bartender.
Bart. Really going hard on this zero effort change. And then what is your social media handle?
Definitely not.
and then the
Bob
number
Valentine.
1.
Certainly taken.
It's not. This is one of those things that maybe it was taken at one point and like eventually just elapsed and nobody tried it because like obviously the 1 is taken. This is not taken.
You have a dead person's handle though.
Yeah, for sure. You have like
It's a
probably
haunted handle.
at
Probably
2250,
Neos.
you probably have several dead people's handles at this point.
Dope, if
but-
I get Neos.
Could you remind me, what did you say your occupation was?
Bartender. Yeah, I did not change it at
Who
all.
is next?
It's simple.
I suppose that is me.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
I am Echo 72549.
I am DFJ. Data for Justice.
I was thinking don't fucking jump.
That is a terrible name.
What, don't
Which
fucking
one?
I would like to be.
Pink racists.
I am having trouble coming up with a name as I am unfamiliar with pilots from Mars.
Pilots from Mars. You would like to be a pilot from Mars.
Nettie Spaghetti.
Metty.
Most ideally, a transportation pilot.
Nettie Spaghetti from the Serengeti.
Have anybody seen Into the Abyss, the new anime that's out?
No.
Well, there's a horrifying character named Mitty, and she haunts my dreams. And every time I hear anything that sounds like Mitty, I hate it.
There are a number of Mars Reclamation Shipping Services courier units. You could be a Mars unit, MRS.
Certainly. That is acceptable.
You will be MRS 1265. Your planet of origin will be Mars. Your birth date.
Date of manufacture 10 22 22 32.
Okay. Occupation transport pilot. What is your social media handle?
None.
Wait, yours is Miss and hers is MRS?
That is taken.
MRS 1265 2.
Oh, that's rough.
Very well. You also have 150 credits that pop up. And then finally, this individual turns to you. Bubbles. What would you like your name to be?
Well, first I have a question, about the occupation. On Garage, I know there's like... Garage. I know there's, a lot of carbon cartel there. Who runs the drug trade on Garage?
Garachi.
Is it like completely a specific...
My designation is Data for Justice. I deal primarily in data. You are looking for a field operative.
Just tell
It
him
is
what you want your
ignorant
name.
to believe that I would know all operational data.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Is he always like this?
Always. Just say what you want, what your name to be.
Okay, how about, well, I know in the galaxy when someone is adopted, they give them like a last name like Star or something. So maybe just like...
Joestar?
Damn, that got me pretty good.
So maybe just Johnny Star.
I'm pretty sure.
What?
That's part 8.
Is that JoJo? What is
Yes!
Ah, fucking tell me.
Yes! We know the art's gonna come out for fucking
This is a
Joestar
Matt
Bubbles over
character.
here.
There is already a very well-known Johnny Star. Might I suggest a different name?
Dan Star.
What was the other, when I messaged you in the game, you gave me like a bunch of like, you said like Rock or Sand, like other like last names that like signify that someone is adopted.
Yeah, they're like really basic kind of like descriptor names that are typically nouns associated with the natural world. So you're talking about...
Quasar.
Yeah.
Johnny Quasar.
Yeah,
That'll be it. There it is.
honestly would be a name.
Sure, Johnny Quasar.
What's Quasar?
A star.
Okay, Johnny Quasar. How do you...
Johnny Quasar, what is your planet of origin?
Prime Station. I'll do that as well.
Again, not a planet. What is your birth date?
Well, I kind of wanted, I'm 21 years old, so, I am gonna try to be like someone who's adopted, so I don't really know if I know my
You are
exact-
giving me much more
Yeah,
information than I need.
just one word answers.
Can we just leave the
12/13/2020.
Accepted.
2220.
But if people ask me, I'm just gonna be like, I think
Amended.
approximately that.
I don't care.
Okay.
Your name will be Johnny Quasar. You are from Prime Station. You were born in 12/13/22/20.
Don't you feel like that's a little bit close to like... Never mind.
What is your occupation?
I was thinking maybe just, someone who's, used to be armed security for,
Security. What is your social media handle?
Johnny Q.
Johnny Q is taken.
Johnny Q
with all
flexes.
common spellings.
Johnny Q with muscles.
QCUE because you're
Yeah.
bald.
Yeah, okay, Johnny Q.
Are you gonna stay
Or
bald?
I could do 8 ball.
Johnny Q Ball.
Johnny Q accepted. This information will be forwarded to you for your review with finalized profiles for all of your covers.
Oh, and can you put security in like quotes and stuff?
No.
Okay.
We will give you your covers once they have been generated for you. That is the process that we do. The generation. The data. You do not do that.
I've been working
He's
on
looking
this social
only
media.
at only at Bubbles for this entire.
But look how
part
many
of the
cool photos I
conversation.
took of antiques. Look, I went to this antique shop. Can we post this on the Instagram? On the Insta field? On the whatever it's called?
I would advise you not to use social media for the duration of your time leading up to this event. You will be given communicators with attachments to your false identifications, social media accounts, etc. Then you can post those pictures.
Nice.
Any further questions before I depart?
I believe that will be all. Thank you.
Can you change mine from security to just unemployed?
No, you don't want to be a fucking bum.
The data
That would
has
be
already
too
been
close to
processed.
accurate. I will leave all of you with coordinates for this planet. You should be able to intercept it should you leave sometime in the next week.
When can we expect the data of our identities?
I should have this complete by the end of the day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He picks up his little briefcase, kind of folds things up, and makes his way down the ramp.
Thank you, DFJ. And she salutes them goodbye.
No problem.
Spice, I've been practicing. Ask me a question about your future. I promise you I can answer it.
Okay, Spice like closes her eyes
Yeah.
and rubs the bottle, and she's like, "Tell
Don't touch.
me." Okay, sorry.
I'm going to prepare
Where
to
I'm
take
from.
off.
That's not about your future.
The director
Oh,
will
shit.
say, "As you had me sit on this conversation, I have made some interesting notes. For instance, this planet was first spotted in the Inscrawl system.
Okay, didn't we just go over the Inscrawl system as something else today?
That is where Rose Lastwind had her run in.
Right. And we kind of think that that was sketchy. Do we really want to go after these ships that are going to be GPF property on behalf
It
of
is
USR?
likely that they are connected to whatever else is happening.
So we're going to not do it because that's sketchy?
No, we're doing
Weigh
it.
our options before making any decisions. It is one of multiple options right now. However, it may have a good risk versus reward.
What benefit would the USR have if the GFP didn't get their tender slicers back?
It would benefit the USR for a potential war threat to have fewer fighter ships at the base level. However, that is probably not why they have sent this.
I believe that if they are indeed working together, it is a way to hand off equipment. while maintaining a cover.
But what if we end up on the bounty board for stealing GPF equipment like Jimmy 12 Toes did?
We will most likely do so.
Are
Which
we
is
cool with
why we
that?
are staying undercover, and we are going to modify the ships if we so choose to go after them. However, we have other options that we will pursue first.
Hardcore Henry's?
Hardcore Henry's
Or
is where we
Lola's.
will be going once we have ships.
Alright.
Oh yeah, those GPF ships made me think that we should hit up Mari and fucking Meeg.
We had
Cause
intended to go to the Eclipse Mall after going to Lola's.
oh yeah, they're gonna be a huge help if we're gonna be on GPF fighters.
But you know what I learned? You should definitely text them and make sure that they're at the Eclipse Mall. Because they might have moved.
They might have. I can hit them up.
Nice.
Please contact them.
Spice
Find
like
out where they are.
just doesn't even look. She's like still having a conversation and texting Mari and Megan in group chat in real time.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
babe, I got a package delivered to them. Ask them if they got it.
They get. Do you understand how the? Yes, I can ask them, but those bitches get shit ordered all the time. Yeah, I'll ask them.
Okay.
You get a message back very quickly, and Meeg says, "Yeah, we're still here for a couple of weeks."
Fuck yeah, you ready to get a little bit rowdy, girly? We'll tell you more when we get back, but just get those, put your boots on.
Little like images start flashing up, and they're all from Mari. It's just like these excited little emoticons and everything. You see Meeg's message, like the little dots pop up and then
Yeah.
they go away.
Yep.
Pop up and they go
She's
away.
like, thumbs up. See you soon.
Just leaves it on red, but really Mari does the talking.
Yeah, no, she, like, the girls know that everybody saw.
Yeah. So no problem. You have that communication. What are you all doing now?
Wait, did they get a package, yeah or nay?
Oh no package yet. It's been literally hours.
Okay.
Express overnight.
It's been like it's been 10
preparing the
hours.
ship for takeoff. Is everyone ready to go?
Yeah, so
Yes,
Spice
Captain.
will say we're gonna stop by.
Okay.
We're leaving Prime Station. You cool with that, Bubbles?
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if you wanted like a lick the dirt one.
Wait, I
time.
didn't meet Steel.
Oh well.
I imagine that we will encounter Steel at some point later on.
And didn't he already kind of leave? Isn't he?
Yeah, he's on a
like-
mission.
he's on a
Okay.
mission. But
Okay.
he gave you that super cool rock.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Have you talked to him yet? The guy in the rock.
I didn't know there was a guy in the rock.
Yeah, you have to like absorb the rock into your soul, and then it makes you better. I like talked to my guy. His name was like Haru.
I am going to prepare the ship.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Haru.
It was something. It was
it
a name
started
there.
with an
Yeah,
is
I
the
wrote it
fucking
down.
Shitty
I also wrote it
Earthbender from season 1 of
His name
Avatar,
started with an
or
H.
Season 2.
Echo starts filing paperwork for an employee intervention with mental health.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that went far with Shade.
I
It's not
think
gonna go far with
Spice
Giz.
is going to light a cigarette and then also follow Shade into the cockpit.
Okay. No problem.
Bubs will just do cleaning.
Okay.
Gibbs is gonna explain to
Got
Bubs
some catching up to
how to
do.
use the ability crystal. Oh, here's my notes on the ability crystal. Did I write it down his fucking name? Nope.
It was
Would
like
have been from
Tamis.
session
Haru.
37.
We can
Oh,
figure-
Tamis.
We can figure it out during the break.
Tanis might have been his name, yeah.
I think it is. I think it's Timos or Tamos. Yeah.
Oh,
Exonautica.
it's Tamos. Yeah.
I remember it
It
now.
is Tamos.
I thought that was said.
I'm reading Ari's notes over here.
I'm like, I didn't write down his name. Literally, that's
It's literally the
Tamos
biggest one.
Lasan.
Yeah.
Lashunta, yeah. But yeah, you can kind of tell Bubbles a little bit about just being able to touch this and really focus on it. It's a meditative practice to be able to commune with this crystal.
Imagine Squeak follows behind as I leave this nonsense.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Leave nonsense free action. So you all make your way about to your various positions as the ship lifts off and makes its way out and into space. Shade, what coordinates are you setting?
As I'm going to the cockpit, I want to contact Lola,
Okay.
and
The contact would be the one. No? Because Lola did.
well, we did get Sinclair's
I believe
contact
we did.
actually.
You
didn't
have
we?
Sinclair's contact.
I would contact Sinclair.
Okay.
And
Who is
then
Sinclair?
Sinclair
ship
was
guy.
the ship parts dealer.
He sold us the.
Who's like a gray
the
market.
people fridge.
So he's the one who's gonna get us
The
the
cryo
GPF shits?
No, he's a potential other route for finding ships. That
What are you
we-
messaging him?
Or ship modifications.
Okay.
Looking for ship and ship parts. Would you be able to assist?
You get a message back, and it just says, I can get you almost any Harbinger ship you want. 125% of market price and no questions, no paper trail. What you looking for?
Free ships, bitch.
5 lockout ready ships for underground racing.
That's a real specific order, friend. I don't think I can do that. Not right away, anyways. Give me a couple months and I can maybe scare that up.
Sinclair's out.
But 5 ships that are lockout ready, untraceable, that's tough.
Response. In lieu of that, parts to modify ships. We will find the rest.
You get the final message back. You just let me know what you need from the Harbinger inventory. Sorry, I keep doing that. Oh, man.
Do you mean Anubis?
Yeah,
Oh, so it's Anubis.
I think so. I have
Sinclair
to double check
can-
now.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it is.
That would make sense for ships.
Sinclair. Oh, my notes as well. I got it right here.
I switched from digital to physical notes, and so none of my notes are reliable.
Oh, you know what? When I do Sinclair, the first thing that comes up is one Davenport Sinclair from a different game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
I wonder if that
Can you
translate
use that
or not.
voice for this Sinclair too?
Anubis Dynamics.
Okay, good.
Sinclair is a very nondescript man in a nondescript charcoal suit that you met. This is an individual who, yeah, he would just message you back and say, let him know what you want out of the Anubis Dynamics inventory, and he can get it for you.
Do we have access to an Anubis Dynamics like catalog?
Yeah, you can go online and kind of see it.
I think that would probably be once we get the actual ships, modifying them with the parts then, right?
Yeah.
I want their little robot dog that does the dance on the YouTube. You know, Anubis Dynamics, Boston Dynamics.
Still stop at Lola's?
Harbinger Robotics is actually based on
No, that was
Boston Dynamics, so they would have that.
Yeah.
Figured.
Oh, shit.
I would message to the group, we are not going to Lola's. We will go after we have found ships.
Didn't we
Sinclair
want
will not
like
be able to assist.
upgrades for the director to make him like beefier or something? Or like
That is-
untraceable?
That is what our stop at our new supply depot is for.
Yeah, so we have to wait a couple of days to get to the Mosaic one.
If there is no objection, we will head to the Eclipse Mall now.
Yes, girl, let's go. See my besties.
The director's light turns on. The director says, to be clear, the Mosaic vivarium is currently functional, but it is not at full capacity.
Vivarium. What's a vivarium? Isn't that like a greenhouse?
There, you can
Or a
see like the
zoo?
blue light flickers for a second, and then the director responds, a vivarium is a place designed to house living objects.
That's good.
That's kind of creepy, right?
It is
Is it? I don't know.
simply
It sounds like a fucking
synonym
planet.
For a house or a domicile.
A vivarium is just where
How
things
long
inhabit. That's not
will it
scary.
take for the facility to be fully operational?
At current capacity, with the assistance of Efi, 3 days.
Is it possible to set it to task at manufacturing you weaponry before it is fully operational?
At current, give me a second.
You roll a D100 and see what you get.
I sense that someone is mocking me.
At current,
That-
ammo replenishment services are operational. Refuel and repair of the ship services are operational. Housing of any Mosaic specimens is operational.
See, it's calling us specimens.
Grenade
Weird.
printing, currently offline.
Super.
Weapon fabrication, operational at 25%.
Boo.
Armor fabrication, operational at 50%.
Boo.
And then finally, if you are interested in this, there is also a garment printer, and that is fully occupational
Oh.
or operational.
Fuck yes, it is. All right, I'm ready to go.
Under what category would you define sensor arrays?
Sensor arrays are located in the central section of the vivarium.
Manufacture of sensor arrays. For yourself.
As well as cloaking.
We would like to improve your vision.
You are not authorized to know that yet.
What? Okay, well, are you okay with your body getting modified, Director? I'm sensing that you're not down with mechanics touching you, and I need to know if we can get modifications for you.
If there are changes that are desired to the physical structure designated Directive 0, please alert me to what these are.
The fuck is Directive 0?
The ship.
Oh.
The director and the ship are functionally different.
Wait, I'm confused now.
The director is like the
Director
AI that is
is
in
the
the
VI
ship.
that-
Directive 0 is like the ship itself, like the physical like housing that the director lives in.
Okay, so Directive 0 can be modified and Director doesn't need to be?
No, so the director's just saying if you want to change his body, we need to like talk to him.
That's literally what I'm asking.
He says, yes, give me an opportunity to consent.
Yes.
That's the answer.
It
Okay.
is more than consent. I am a starship of singular design. For any improvements, they will need to be built to specification.
Do you trust the people that we go to
No,
do it right? So who can do it right?
you are not cleared to know
Of
that
course I'm
information.
not. Spice rolls her eyes.
Do I know? Is it me?
I mean, you probably can make changes. You've made some small ones. But, I mean, looking at this,
the chosen one.
not even the screws are like normal.
Right,
This is very,
it's
very
like
different.
superstar.
So how are we supposed to upgrade you if no one can touch you?
Would you be able to guide us for the necessary modifications?
I would.
Okay.
For instance, obtaining items like Siren Sapphires would allow me to upgrade my systems.
I told you we lost that one.
There is no sense in focusing on the past.
Spice throws her hands up.
I am preparing to set course for the Eclipse Mall. We will stay there for 2 days.
Nice.
Very well. You can see the drift computer flips over and the timer starts down 24 hours.
Sleepover.
You begin to make your way towards the Eclipse Mall.
I'm going
and
into the
because it's 8:30, we're gonna step away for a quick break before we finish off our session.
A lot happened.
I know. Yeah. Well, also, yeah. There was like a yeah. But we'll be right back. There's a countdown on your screen. We'll see you then.
This is gonna be a heavy.
And welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to Starfinder. We're going to jump right back in as you all drop into the drift and begin to make your way across the kind of purple interstitial space that is the drift. Give me 1 second here.
We actually went someplace.
Shade, as you pull down the drift drive accelerator, there is a shudder along the ship and the stars fall away, and as your ship tilts up and out into an ocean of space, there is a dull black blanket, and then slowly the purple mist of the drift takes its place, and you're aware that you are in a large empty region of it. You can still see these kind of smoky purple space clouds of debris around the edges, but it is easy to navigate here.
Oh, that's better.
Shade.
Am I rolling my d6? No, wait, no, we're going
No.
Clip small. We're good.
Make
Speaking.
make a life sciences check.
Ooh.
No.
Can it be physical sciences?
No,
I'm
it
better
can't.
at that. I'm okay at life sciences.
I mean, actually, you know what? It can be physical sciences, but I will promise you'll gain almost no important information.
Okay. Well, that was a 19.
19. First of all, the texture on this cake, just touching it
It's
with the fork.
delightful.
Oh my god.
Ew,
I
wow.
want to eat that. So, you said 18?
19.
19. With a 19, you look around and you do see elements of like broken matter that would intimate that there's something left behind here from maybe a collision. There's debris or rocks. And that's not super common in the drift, although it does happen from time to time. But outside of that, not much that you could really tell from it. And the director at this point pops up and says, Doppler velocity logs indicate an ancient debris field has, through an undetected force, resisted formation of a localized cluster. No heat signatures detected. However, the debris field reduces the reliability of scans by 35%. There are no active transponders, and the debris appears largely organic and sedimentary in nature. Drift channels exist at bearings 103-22-500, 55-22-877, and almost opposite us at 50-50-1500. Navigation indicates all three are equidistant to our destination. Recommend steering clear of the debris field and circumnavigating to the entire opposite side.
Engage in invasive protocols. Take us out of the debris cluster. Prepare course.
You can see all along your navigation 6 beacons appear, and they kind of hug the edge of what is this adrift atoll. And you can kind of follow those, and you see it does add an additional 25 hours of travel time.
So it's 48 hours now? Or
47 hours. At this, the director does say, alternatively, you could travel through the debris field to reduce travel time by 12 hours.
So
This
what-
course of action is not recommended.
Set course through the debris field.
Very well.
That's a conversation. So space will feel like the turbulence happening. Just look up, Shade.
You
Why?
all hear the kind of creak as the ship begins to like drift off and towards the center of the space.
Shade, why did you choose to put us all in danger, sir?
I do not know.
Director, change course back to the safe mode, please.
There is no change to the ship.
Shade, tell the director to change it back to safe mode. Why are you ignoring me?
I've
You look
made
down,
my choice.
Shade.
Why? I don't understand why. Why you would choose to go to the. Are you trying to kill the director? I don't understand.
This is a faster course, and you will reach your destination in a more expedient manner.
Is there anything in the drift field?
Make a perception check.
Nice. Thank you. Oops.
Damn, that first roll was better.
I know, and it probably wasn't cocked, but I didn't like how it it didn't feel like I intentionally did it. It doesn't matter. It's a 19 though.
With a 19, you look out and you do see debris. Here, there is no like light source. There's no stars. You're in the drift, and so you can barely see it. You're seeing it through the running lights off the ship, and here and there as it kind of against the shields. But it's out there. Aside from that, you don't see much.
Can I detect magic?
Sure.
It's like super small, so it's only like the little rocky rocks that are near us.
You cast detect magic, and there is no magic that exists immediately within. But then, for just the briefest moment, as there is a little of something burning up in the shields, you could swear that there was some element of magic, not that it in and of itself was magic, whatever just hit your shield, but it was the byproduct of magic, almost certainly. And you look and you wait, but you don't see it again.
These are ancient fields.
Just a little poop.
Something about that feels maybe right.
Just a little magic poop.
Do I need to inside check your choice?
It's a risk reward. We're shortening the amount of time.
Spice it. All right.
You begin to make your way through the denser part of the debris field.
Is there anything we can do to support? Is there anything Gibbs can do to support the lack of sensory doodads?
So, my question to all of you, as you travel through the debris field with Shade making the piloting check, is there anything that the rest of you want to do to improve your chances of making it through?
I'm going to jump on the guns
Okay.
and just basically communicate, open a line of communication with the director and Shade. And
Director Shade, I was hoping maybe I could provide targeting assistance and weaponry assistance, and if you could possibly provide me on-screen tactical assistance, I would appreciate that.
Doing so now. Suddenly in front of you across the entirety of the gun station, you can see targeting data and little blips appear, but there's nothing huge approaching you immediately. The scanning distance is pretty short.
Yeah, we have a short.
In general, you have short range. Here in the debris field, even shorter. And so, I mean, not a ton to see. And it's busy in that little short space.
Reporting in from the engineering bay.
Okay. Bubbles, make a perception check from there.
and as Bubs does the perception check, Bubs is just going to ask the director,
Would there be any consequences of just firing straight in front of us if there was something coming towards us?
Did you ask that out loud?
yeah, the director. 17 plus 11, so 28.
Concentrations of elements within the debris field would not cause explosions or things of that nature. However, any destruction within this field could create trajectories of debris that are difficult to avoid. If possible, I would recommend not engaging the weapons.
Okay. I will only use the weapons if absolutely necessary.
Echo, you're reporting in from the engineering bay. What are you doing in the engineering bay?
Echo is hoping that by... Ooh, that's the wrong... Hold please. Sid.
Wrong
Here,
director.
I've got the physical.
That's Martin
If you
Scorsese.
want.
Echo's hoping that by being in the... Ooh,
It's on the other side.
I just realized that.
No, it's that-
God, my goodness. Echo's hoping that by being in the engineering bay, they can provide more power and patch any systems that go down, basically overpowering systems if they need be, or providing patches and diverting.
Make an engineering check.
Look at that one on Friday, might say. Look at those numbies. That's a 28.
Oh, we love a 28.
That's pretty good.
Nice. You did good.
As you begin to travel through, there are no real little bits of debris that are kind of causing systems to go down. And at first you're like, wow, Shade's really, piloting up a storm up there, but the ship hasn't really moved a whole lot. And that's kind of strange. You hear Bubbles come up and just kind of talk about shooting the debris. And since the path has been so clear, that would not be a great idea because, this is going, but you hear the director kind of talk him down from that. And then it sort of dawns on you as you were doing this, the fact that you haven't had to really do anything in and of itself is surprising. Going through a debris field in a starship, even though it's tiny little bits, everything, the speeds and momentum of things traveling is tremendous. And so this is already a hazard. And so that's kind of strange. And you can kind of make of that what you will. But from engineering, You do a great job, and there are no systems requirements at the moment. Spicer, is there anything that you're doing?
Spice is looking for the sapphire out the window. That's what Spice is doing.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
What was your perception check, Bubbles?
It was
28.
28. Yeah.
28. Okay. Bubbles. As you are looking and you're kind of watching around, with a 28, for a brief moment, you feel like you can see something moving out there in the field, and you kind of pivot the weapon over, which fully functional, by the way, and repaired.
Nice.
But you peer, you don't see anything, but you see two rocks just kind of collide and move, and you recognize in this field of debris where nothing has really been colliding, that's weird.
I'm gonna do all channels chat.
Okay.
Guys, I just noticed something on my tactical weapons display. It seems like we haven't noticed any like debris or asteroids or any kind of things hitting each other. But just a second ago, I just saw something. That can't be right. Does anyone have any thoughts on this?
Confirmed. The ship has not even sustained a mite of damage.
What's going on here? Like, are we actually moving?
You're moving. You look down and you can see
Does
that
it
you're
feel
making
like
progress. The drift thing is counting down.
Because my understanding was that this was going to be the more dangerous and like quicker but also riskier route. But thus far, it is not seemingly very dangerous.
Yeah,
But it
in
is
fact, it's almost less dangerous.
anomalously.
Is the director got like something going on? Like, are things diverting around us unnaturally, or what's the unnatural part about?
Make a sense motive check if that's what Gibbs is kind of asking. You're looking around trying to figure out what's going on with your
Natural 20.
natural.
And my sense motive
Damn,
is
dude.
stupid high, 15. So that's
Gibbs.
35.
Gibbs. Something all of a sudden makes your fur stand on end. That little flick of magic, that idea of ancient debris fields, there's something to that. And typically when things are ancient and they can survive for a long time, they're really big, and sometimes so big that the scope of what you are looking for can be kind of hard to understand. And you look out and all of a sudden you kind of recognize, you think of spiders. Oftentimes spiders will kind of set these little traps where it seems like it's like really clear there's this easy way to walk through. Everything else has like web or broken bits of rock. But by walking along that safe route, you're just walking right into the sort of den of this creature. And you're realizing that you're not walking into the trap. You're walking through the den. You're walking in the space that this creature occupies, and all at once, Gibbs, you hear this little as like something burns up on the shield, and you look out the viewport from the kind of recreational space that you're in, there with your little sewing machine, kind of sewing teeth going and making your thing. There is movement outside the ship, for
All
sure.
channels basically word vomit all of that. Being like, absolutely, but the spiders, if you remember when and there was a trap, and this is definitely a trap, and there's something right there.
Do you mean astral spiders?
I say on the comms for all channels.
I mean, more like metaphorical spiders, but if it is astral spiders, don't be surprised, okay? But like, everyone on guard. And I'm gonna prepare, I would like to, I'm a magic officer wherever I sit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mysticism.
You get up into your bunk bed and you magic officer battle station.
Nice. I got my little Gibbs keyboard, not attached to anything, but yet it works.
The great thing about the magical officer is that absolutely does work. If you want to wrap yourself up in a blanket and fight from bed, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a magic officer is dope.
Dope. Cool.
So,
Can I Mystic Haze us?
yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna spend a resolve.
Are
point.
you now I have to remember, because I remember you weren't able to technically.
I
before.
am, because I have skill ranks up to 6, which I couldn't do till level 6, and I have the resolve points to do this.
Okay.
So,
In this debris field, it's very easy to do. Gibbs, there's so much elements to kind of pull in, and so you spend your resolve point. Go ahead and make a mysticism check.
cool. Nice. So that is 30. 19 plus 13 is 32.
32.
And the Mystic Haze says my DC is 20 plus 1.5 Starship tier. As our Starship gains 8 plus 1 to AC for a while, and enemies roll disadvantage on scan or lock on actions.
So it's successful. You call forward this magic, and as you do, the elements that were kind of going by your ship, instead of just moving around or kind of burning up in the shield, they kind of adhere and become almost like this armor of additional stone that clumps around and becomes this like little garbage pile, basically. Very fitting. And Gibbs, you feel like this works, and it actually inadvertently works even better to your favor. You pull these stones away and it clears the visual components in front of your ship just a little bit. And you can see movement, and it's easy to mistake it for something else because this is huge. When you look out, at first it looks like just darkness and probably, debris on the other side, but you recognize that you are looking at something so big. As you smash your little Yosoki face into the viewport, you do not see the top or the bottom on either side. This is way larger than your ship. This is way larger than probably either of the capital USR ships that you saw at the viewport back in Prime Station. Whatever this is massive.
But it's alive.
Hard to tell.
We need to go.
Is it a planet?
Around. We're gonna hit this big old thing. Look, and I will give everyone the context, hopefully, to find the edges of this
I'd
thing.
probably see it from the cockpit, right?
It's just kind of dark. I mean, you're really going off scans, and scans aren't showing anything.
As Bubs thinks back to I remember Bubs did a search on the astral spiders.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was very curious about, we talked about how they traveled through the space, and we had a whole side convo about that. Yeah, it was like...
They were jellyfish,
it
was really dope.
I remember you specifically said they hitched rides on asteroids.
Yeah.
So Bubs...
Asteroids and rogue planets and things like that.
Bubs is gonna say, guys, something, I don't know, these asteroids, I think they could be spiders. I don't know.
Are they
Bigger than a
malevolent?
spider.
Is this a drift whale?
Dope.
Echo, as you hear Gibbs describing it, this is far larger than a drift whale.
Oh, fuck.
It's more like a drift little big planet.
But it wouldn't be. So if it's not a drift whale, then it can't be a drift spider.
It's huge, guys. Look.
Does this
Your
sound like
spiders can be
anything like
Bigger than a whale?
recorded, or
I don't know the size of any of these things.
Echo rushes out of.
anything that is
With
like-
your previous life sciences check, no.
I rolled a 30. Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I rolled a 31 looking for sapphires, by the way.
So you peer out
Don't
there,
want that
and
to
as
go
Gibbs
unnoticed.
talks, you go to the other side of the ship and peer out, same direction as Gibbs, not really on the kind of recreational side, but out one of the hallway viewports. And looking out that way, you can kind of see there is no purple cloud on the other side. It's just dark.
Okay.
So we're gonna run straight into it if we don't
At the moment, you are just going right by it.
Echo rushes
We're
going by
changes
it.
stations from engineering to chief meat, which allows me to perform a hard turn.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
It's an acrobatics check to manually adjust thrusters
Go
so that
for
we're
it.
turning in a different direction.
So hearing all this, you look, and whatever this is, far larger than any creature that you are aware of, and you shove your hands into the controls, the mechanical aspects of this ship.
23.
23. And there is a shock. Electricity goes up your arms. It hurts.
And director's
And-
like, go.
And the ship does not respond in the way that you want it to. It shudders and kind of jolts to the side. At the moment, it's not at risk of running into anything, and you don't need to necessarily do that, which is good because it's not a success.
Damn, I thought it was.
Can I
At
So
this
what are we
moment,
panicking
there is a
about?
little bleep,
I don't know.
and the director says, "Another ship has entered the system."
Ooh.
Is it that huge one? How big is it, director? Can you tell?
Scanning. This ship appears to be a merchant cruiser.
What banner are they?
It identifies as the unflagged Violet Song.
Do I know anything
Yeah, can I
with
culture
my-
check
Make a
that?
cultures check, yeah,
I
if you
get a
really want.
-5 to
Violent
the DC
song?
to
Violet song.
learn about ships.
Oh my god, that was my third natural 20 of the fucking game!
Those dice are weighted.
Holy shit!
Sorry, all the luck's in this corner.
Better than mine, but still, I got a 24.
So interestingly, you have not heard of the Violet Song. You have.
I better have.
Oh, you bet you have.
I
The
have.
Violet Song is actually fabled amongst gamblers.
Oh,
This is a craft that is sort of so. There is rumored to be a bottle of alcohol that is made one bottle every year. That in and of itself is like liquid luck, and this is transported aboard a ship that is called the Violet Song. And so, I mean, you know this ship. And
Oh,
if this is
I've
really
heard.
it, I mean, this is, first of all, it is owned by a corporation. It's kind of a publicity stunt, but it's also probably very real. You know, they've done like whole things where like, can you find the song and like, you know, all this other stuff. But you've heard of it. It's not military. It's not a bounty hunter. It's a ship making transit through the drift. And they have had the unfortunate event of coming into the same space. And as you watch, they choose to take a different path than you. They begin to skirt along the outside. Is there anything that you guys are doing?
Are we following them? Like, what is our
No. So
proximity to
if you
this
imagine
ship?
this as a huge empty sphere within the drift, you are going just straight through the middle. Shade was like, nope, dead ahead. We're going through. You went through the first little layer of debris, and you're just kind of in an empty space, it seems. Gibbs is recognizing you are going along the very back part of this space. Almost the entirety of it is filled by something. This other ship is on the other side of that.
So we should follow the other ship.
No, well, we should tell them that there's some shit going on.
So we're going this way around the massive anomalous object, and they're going this way.
So the object
Is
is
in
in
between
between us.
Yeah, like this, right?
So how do we? How?
Open channels to the other ship.
The
Director,
director
can
will
you open
say,
channels?
we can, but if there is a ship or something else between us, they will receive our communications as well.
Director, does the ship appear to be having any sort of drive plume or any active like propulsion coming out of it? Does it seem to be on?
Yes, the ship is transiting along a similar path to the one that I charted for you.
That's the one that the spiders were gonna go get, and it's a trap. So maybe we should give them some warning.
The
By
director
warning, do you
charted
mean?
a safe route for us around. We decided not to take it.
Right,
Information
but
about spiders here either.
so I told you guys the whole thing, like that we were in the den, right? But the outside was the path of which like was a safer perceived path.
And Shay didn't take that one.
Right, but like it was perceived safer, but like the information we got was that it's not actually safer. That's the path that like was the trap.
Spice, you've like made your way into the room now to talk to Gibbs. Are you guys all kind of like
Yeah,
conglomerating?
we're all
now?
like
I'm still
talking.
there, but I'm not moving.
Good,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Ari means that presumed that there's spiders at this point. We're not sure.
Well, no, I don't think there's actual spiders. I think that like the thing that I'm concerned about is we took a path that was like we thought was riskier, but we're finding out we're in the den or we're in the atmosphere, right? But on the outside, the outskirts, the path that looked safer is actually like looks safer because it's the
Well, they're taking a different path than that, right?
no, they're taking the path that was originally charted for us.
Almost, yeah, pretty much the same path.
So I'm just saying we should warn them of like
Why?
Yeah, because they're safe.
because I'm not presuming they're safe. I don't think that because they like took a path that was perceived safer, but I don't think it actually is. I think that's like the trap path.
Shade, out of the viewpoint, as you can hear this conversation happening, kind of over public channels, but also again like a little bit quicker through
It's
the
like
hallway.
when you're having a Zoom call. with
Yeah,
the other-
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's literally what's going on right now. You see a flash of red out through the viewport, and it reflects across the canopy because it crackles along something huge. Do you have the miniature of your ship out here?
Oh no.
The small one?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because if so, I can give you something for scale.
It was.
No.
I think it's
it's
not
up
up
there.
there.
It's up
I'll go
there.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I'll grab something for scale.
Cool.
Perhaps is he getting one of the mini spiders that you got?
Again, I don't think it's actually a spider.
Does not look like it is here. found a ship.
I think it's like a planet.
Yeah, this
I
one.
think it's like a
cloaked
like
planet.
a hunk of metal or like a base of sorts. I don't think it's alive, but I think maybe living things might be on it.
Joe, do we need to clean off the table?
Oh, no, not yet.
Oh.
Ew, I don't like the not yet. That's scary.
So, I don't know, were you guys able to find the ship?
We found
I
a
found
ship,
a ship. I
not
couldn't
the
find
ship,
the ship.
but one that's
Yeah, that's
comparable
suitable for
size.
size.
Yeah.
That is roughly the size.
Why has it got an eye?
Yeah.
And at this point, as the red crackles, you see it is almost like
just see that
veins
side.
along the back of this, and you're
No.
looking at the back of this creature.
No.
Ew, it's a
You
creature.
can see there is these almost veins, and at first you mistake them for like some kind of electric pulse through metal or something embedded into this rock. But all at once you see that these are veins, and as it kind of glows to light, the light flashes across the cockpit, and you can see this huge creature begins to drift away from you and towards that ship.
Oh, that's why we should warn them. Director, open channels.
No, you can't let them be the trap. But I do
Do not
want that
reveal our
look.
presence.
We're not gonna let them get eaten.
Why?
Better them than us.
Yeah. Yeah. What? We c-
Continuing path.
Yes, Captain. And Bubs is just gonna walk back from the group, and he'll be like in the hallway between the guns and like within earshot.
Okay.
So
Now, once that ship is gone, we can loot the fucking ship and get the liquid luck.
Better them than us.
You continue. You keep your comms silent. An hour goes by and you see this huge creature in a little bit more of an outline as it moves. The kind of veins at its back, you can see this black line that indicates that from the front, you probably can see none of this light. It is just from the back that this is almost like an exhaust from this creature. And it's almost certainly biological. From the elements that you saw from behind, it pulsed, it moved. You don't see the front, you don't see an eye or a face, but it could have one.
But we understand that it's alive. It's not like we.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's moving towards the ship.
Okay.
After an hour goes by, it closes pretty quick. And all at once, you can see SOS transponder go out from the Violet Song.
Ooh, oh shit. Okay, I don't like that they put out an SOS. That
I literally was.
Director, change course to the SOS.
no, let them die. I want their stupid shit.
We have an obligation.
We had an obligation an hour ago, but we waited. So
Yeah,
We
because
have an obligation now that they've sent out an SOS.
It is unlikely that we will reach them in time.
fine.
they're gonna be in the belly of the beast already.
Just the.
Set course for the SOS.
Doing so
Ew.
now.
Why?
And the whole ship just, and you could hear the as little debris bits hit the shield, and you make your way into the debris field in truth.
Bubs is going to now get into the gunner seat.
Okay, you begin
Why-
to rush down.
Why? Can I ask the director why does this guy not be picked up on the scans? What's special
It's
about this guy's
organic.
anatomy that's
It's not
not?
a ship.
No, but life scans, right?
Too big.
The scale of this creature has dispersed the organic matter in such a way that it is not reading on any scanner.
It's like such a big blip on the radar that it's just, it looks blank.
Just curious.
Director, previously you mentioned that shooting asteroids would hurt us if we were trying to avoid them, but it seems like this situation has changed. Do you believe that our weapons will still be effective?
I believe that not shooting this will be far more dangerous for you.
Yeah, so let's fucking run away.
But director, if
Director, calculate the highest probability of escape with the SOS signal.
What do you mean with?
Retrieving the passengers on the ship and getting out.
So running into the mouth and then trying to run out?
It's already less likely we're even gonna get there in time.
At current speed, and with likely rate of contact, there is less than 3% chance.
Yeah, so let's just get to fucking where we're going.
Echo, like, is hearing this over general, runs back to the engineering space.
So you know that you can probably do a little faster than that, but these are... Make an insight check.
Or
Oh, the insight check is
sense
Gibbs is
motive.
right. We
Sorry,
should have done
sense
this an
motive, yeah.
hour ago.
No, let's just let these fucking ship die. I don't want to die.
20... Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That's just high enough to recognize that what Gibbs is saying is absolutely right.
Fuck yes!
There was a moment like an hour ago where you had a choice about whether to intervene or not, and now this creature is so close to the ship that there's no way. Barring some insane maneuver that would have to break the laws of physics, and which is technically possible to make it there. It's one of those things where if you were starving on a space station, you saw that hot dog truck go by and you just kind of waved and now it's gone and you're going to starve before it comes back, even if you call it
They're a
back.
bunch of dirty gamblers. We don't need them anyways.
Bubs reflects
dirty gambler.
on Shade's orders.
My dad.
And he reflects on the voice of how Shade said the different orders. And he thinks, did the voice sound different?
Make a sense motive check.
That's an
And all androids sound the same.
I mean, you're a very monotonous. 11 plus 4, 15.
15. The 15, hard to tell. Very monotonous. All kind of the same.
Sound the same.
So if we can't get to the ship, the best next thing we can do is distract the monster from eating that ship, and try and help us both get free. I trust your piloting that if we got its attention, you could get out of its maw.
Is there a chance of that being more successful?
Yes. Given how low the chance is, basically non-existent for the other
3%
one,
chance of success.
this is that would at least provide a glimmer of a chance.
Is this like the movie thing where it's just like, oh, well, now it's 0.1 now?
Guns up, baby!
No, realistically,
Yeah.
if you just try to get there in time and help, it's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
okay, cool.
If you guys try to attack this creature to draw its attention, you're telling me there's a chance.
Yes!
It's doing something versus doing nothing.
Doing something!
Do nothing.
Stop the Shade.
Attack it to draw its attention and then immediately do another drift jump like we did that other time. That's like a risky maneuver, but
You certainly could. With your insight check, you imagine that should you do that and the quote unquote prey or whatever it is that would draw that creature, and you don't even know that attacking it might draw its attention.
right.
The life sciences check would have been helpful. This is kind of one of those things where that might work, but it also might just not get its attention. It might turn its attention right back to that ship. It's hard to tell,
Can we try?
but you could try.
Can we do something?
I mean, I'm still moving in the direction.
But
of
that
it.
we know
Yeah.
that's like a 3% chance. But like, can we shoot the thing, please?
Captain, awaiting orders.
I think it's a bad idea.
Let's go.
Bubs, get on the gun.
Yes, Captain. I'm ready on gun.
And I will use Mystic Shot to help you.
Okay.
Or Eldritch Shot is what it's called.
So everybody lines up and you begin to approach. You speed up and basically go into combat stations. Bubbles down into the guns. Gibbs back up into the bunk bed. Echo, you going down to the engineering station?
Diverting power to to weapons.
We draw its attention and then make an escape. We're
So-
only trying to buy them time.
Here's the other.
That's all we can do now.
With everybody going to full battle stations and flinging the ship into combat mode,
Yes.
because it is 9:21, this is a good place for us to end for the evening before we move into some starship combat. But very interesting end. Very different than any of the endings that I had thought. Thank you for sticking with us for Starfinder. We'll be back tomorrow night with some D&D, 5th edition. That is, it's looking like we're going to be starting in some interesting times. That is at 7:30,
you do?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard
What
Time.
did you do?
It's Ori. Leading the pack.
What did you do?
It's just the rogue's curse of always being in front.
Technically me.
Oh yeah, now that you've been shoved back.
Yeah, wait, because I
Kara's
already
signing
got
us
fucked
off.
by
But to
entropy.
find out what it is that we're talking about tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join us right here. I'm going to be here. Matt's going to be here. Kara's going to be here. Alana won't be here, but a whole bunch of other folks are going to be with us.
Hannah and Vincent.
Kara's gonna sign us
Vincent as
off too.
And so for a birthday sign off, let me go ahead and just turn it over to you, Kara. Oop.
highly recommend for your next TTRPG session that you just get some blankets, get some PJs, get real cozy tonight. It's February. It's cold out there. Good night, everyone.
See you guys, boyfriend.